Yo, what's up, everybody? You know who this is, and if you don't, you ain't been around long enough. Uh, this is your boy CLT here, giving you a Wednesday night action here for the LOL Midwest League. We have a Group A battle between the 1 and 0, formerly Hidden Leaf, now known as the Hashira, versus Small Brain No Mechanics, who were unfortunate with a week 1 bye. So this is the first game that we will see from Small Brains here. They do have a new jungler in Mr. One Punch Zack, and as the name suggests, he is a very prominent Zack player. It's probably safe to say that he's never going to get that champion. So, but yeah. So looking at the draft here, nope, sorry, no game invites. Sorry guys. We see the Hashira grabbing the Pantheon, banning Zack's two main champions. He plays, obviously, Zack is his namesake, and Ivern, and then the Maokai actually getting banned as well. So I think it's 3 straight jungle bans there. Um, and so One Punch going to what I would assume is his 3rd or 4th pick there. And or in the Skarner as well. So Skarner's still a fairly respectable jungler here. So, and then Small Brain's going for the Sivir. So, and then we see the Yunara and the Sivir being picked up for 80 carries for the respectable teams here. So, Sivir looking to be a kind of a wave clear monster and delay this. Skarner is not really known for his tankiness early in the game. Once he gets something like Heartsteel and gets a few stacks on it and another tank item, then he starts to take off quite a bit. I believe it's still Heartsteel into Sterix Gauge as the build, but I also know Sterix I think got nerfed when Skarner was very prevalent during his time, so I could be mistaken on that one. But we see the Yunar and the Lulu come out, so very respectable bot lane. They're very good at standing their ground. They have a very big mid game spike here. Small Brain going with the Sivir Morgana. Morgana has been known to be a flex pick. We've seen her, I think, 3 different times in week 1, as we just did the Midwest Weekly episode. So that should be coming soon. Hint, hint, wink, wink, guys. That will be continued for this split. So could be Morgana mid. We did see a Morgana jungle, and I actually believe we've seen a Morgana support. So I think she was already triflexed in week 1 amongst teams. I could be wrong about the support, but regardless, Morgana, a very prominent mid laner right now. Very good early access to wave clear, and just overall, the Black Shield is very useful. So I think Pantheon's going to have a really hard time getting stuns off into the Morgana, or into the Morgana and the Sivir as well. Sorry about that. Was securing a co-caster, so we will have Mr. Zelda guy from Team 3 and the Rec League joining myself here. So a couple mid laners on the cast. Small Brains, though, in this R4 going with Zenma's patented Azir. I've been on the receiving end of this Azir, and he is very, very good at this champion. He's very comfortable on it and plays it into anything. The Talia Olaf, I think, is a really, really good counter pick. Talia has naturally been like a soft counter into the Azir when she lays down the Unraveled Earth. It makes it very hard for Azir to shuffle, and Olaf just really doesn't care anything Azir does. So I really do like this 4 or 5 out of Hashira, but Small Brains coming out with the Cassante here in the R5. So nice big beefy tank to put in front of the Sivir in regards to that. So I think it's a really nice R5 overall. And yeah, so give me just a sec, and so yeah, overall, I think both teams got exactly what they wanted out of this draft, and I'll be very excited to see Small Brains. So
Oh, Zelda, you gonna cast over here, my friend?
yeah,
Yep, yep.
All right.
so
Well, I'll let you guys do that then. I didn't know he had a co-partner.
he hit me up like right as I went live, so
All
much
right.
love there for that.
Yeah, thanks,
I'm
Zelda.
just here to help make it a little interesting.
I like a second voice to bounce off of.
Yeah, it's always good. I might pop in TLT. I'm gonna be in the game regardless, but I'm gonna go pick up some medicine. So
Okay.
you guys enjoy at least casting for now without me.
Alright. Well, much love, man. Hopefully you get better.
I will. I actually finally can get medicine. I know we just talked about it because we just recorded the show, but finally,
Mm-hmm.
finally I can go not be dead. It's nothing really bad. It's just an upper respiratory infection, but it's been kicking my ass for like a week straight. So
Yeah. Zelda, I just sent you over the draft if you want to look it over and kind of give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I was looking at it on stream. I have a couple of opinions. I think that Olaf B5 is an absolute monster pick here.
I I would agree. I think it goes really, really well with the Lulu. And I love Enchanter supports when she has options on who to play through. And in this case you have the Yunara, you have the Olaf. So it creates a lot of opportunities.
I think you're also missing the fact that we have Talia that can cut off paths and make them duck having to fight the Olaf or get out as well. Like there's a little bit of synergy is there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I do think I'm not 100% sure if I'm with the Morgana support here. I honestly think it's her weakest role. So I'm very curious to see how this is gonna work. I mean, if you're wasting the Black Shield on like Skarner to E in and start a fight, then you really don't have anything left to help the Sivir.
Looking at it from a pure R3 standpoint, we're picking it for what, Pantheons, or are we picking the Morgana Flex? I don't think so. We're picking a Zir, R4 here. I think a better option would have been maybe like a Karma that can help speed you out of Olaf and tank a little bit of damage, or something that had a little bit more synergized with the Sivir and just kind of the let's get out of dodge kind of champion.
Mm-hmm.
In that spot, I also could have seen although it's a hard matchup in lane, I think Alistar would have done some wonders, just peeling the Pantheon off, or the Olaf when he's at least doesn't have his aura.
Yeah, yeah. I think Alistar definitely had some windows here, and it's also like pseudo works well as like an advancing character into the Talia, into the Yanara
I'd rather be home
as
anyway.
well.
Now, I will say one benefit of the Morgana here is pairing it with the Azir in a team fight scenario. It allows Azir to go engage without having to worry about the Talia rocks messing up the combo, right?
Or forget.
Same with like the Lulu. It gives Azir a way to get into a fight. The same with Cassante as well, actually.
Yeah, I think that is definitely one thing to note. Though I feel like the Talia rocks, post maybe 2.5, 3 items. If he goes across the whole set of rocks, he might get stunned up by like one of the last ones. If the magic damage is enough to break the shield, because Morgana's not gonna have the biggest shield in the world compared to like her mid counterpart.
It depends. Are we about to see an AP Morgana, or are we going to see an Enchanter Morgana? Because I don't know if you've noticed, but the item of the day seems to be Redemption for pretty much all support laners.
Yeah, I believe it's getting nerfed next patch, if I remember glimpsing at it earlier.
In, pros, apparently even tanks are taking it. So maybe there's a world where we see Morgana rush a Redemption and play for the Black Shield first, like play utility, pure utility, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility here. So, yeah, I'm just very curious overall to see Small Brains. Not only did we not get the chance to see them week 1, but they did make a lineup change with a new jungler this split in One Punch Zac. So it's
Now it's hard to say here, but did we figure out where all these red side or blue side picks are going?
So Akuza is their jungler. So actually, now that you mentioned it, this looks like it's going to be an Olaf jungle Pantheon top.
How do we feel about some of these matchup pairings? Like, we've got Pantheon and Cassante then. Olaf versus Skarner, which sounds really Olaf favored. We have Talia Azir and Sivir Morgana versus Yunara Lulu. Where are we thinking we're going to see some early game pressure?
I think it's going to be either top side or bot side in favor of the Hashira on blue side here. Just because Skarner's really, really great when it comes to farming. His ganks are decent, but he needs setup for that. And I feel like Olaf, with how Yunara Lulu wants to play out the lane, they definitely want to move forward, but they can also like 3v3 really well. That's one thing Yunara is very good at. Is these kind of like multiplayer skirmishes with her Q. And Lulu also buffing like an Olaf or Yunara in a 3v3 sounds pretty nasty to deal with early on.
I could see that, and I see what you're saying about Skarner. The way I see Skarner work as a ganker is he basically punishes the hard pushers or assists with his team's hard pushing, because he's always looking for those wall ganks. I'm thinking specifically in mid lane, right? Like hiding over the birds to try and get that tower press.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. He has a lot of different angles when it comes to ganking mid. I've just not seen a Skarner jungle in a long time. I haven't seen Skarner in a long time, it feels like.
I think he's been out of meta since about the Noxus split.
Yeah.
But I am happy to see it here, though. Although I do have a little bit of worries for Red Side's damage profile, because we're a little heavy on tanking, relying on Sivir and Azir to do all the damage here. Whereas if you look at blue side, we've got Pantheon, Yunara, Talia, Olaf. I am scared to get hit by anything.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of late game insurance built into the side of Small Brains, but they've just got to get there, which I think will be the challenge for them.
I think you are correct, though, that the pathing is going to be from top to bot for the side of blue side. We'll have to see how red responds to that. Could we see, an opposite, or is Gardner going to try and follow and get a lead before Olaf has a chance to get his R up and going?
Yeah, that'll be the key here. So we are loading in game. And yeah, this is a no flash Olaf jungle as well, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't seen that ghost, but like I said earlier with Talia, you kind of have them trapped in here with me kind of syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I'm 20, 21, 22, 23,
Okay, I'm pausing at 30. Let me know when you get there.
28, 29, 30.
Sweet. It's rare that I load into a game before somebody.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So, let's see.
Just
Nothing really strange in the runes. Dark Harvest out of the Morgana support. Okay, so you might be on to something if she goes AP here.
Dark Harvest is pretty normal for most mage supports these days. Especially with Morgana's W, easy to pick those up if they are able to get them low.
True. That's why she's so nasty to play against an ARAM. Oh, red trinket coming out from the Skarner already.
I'm pretty sure mid's gonna be a farm fest with mostly Talia just looking to get that CS. Bot lane I expect to be kind of a fight heavy lane, honestly.
Yeah, Olaf starting bot the top kind of leads me to some trading there. But no, so Olaf going and bought the top is quite interesting here. And they actually have vision on that, so that'll be interesting to see how the Cassante, if he's going to try and push in or even this lane out.
Looks like junglers are pretty even on their clears. Ooh, this Cassante is getting a little early punished here.
First Dark Harvest stack over to Morgana. And this is the third time we've now seen a Talia Pantheon combo. Oh, Vic taking a lot of damage from this Pantheon up top.
Pantheon's taking advantage of his early game pressure that he has, even against somebody as beefy as Cassante, but he is running low on mana.
Oh, nice shield.
And now that Pantheon is out of mana for the rest of this lane phase. And it looks like Olaf is looking to punish any engage that Cassante may go for here.
Flash burned by Pantheon, but Olaf's up here. Burned the Ghost on that gank attempt as well, but unfortunately did not get anything out of it. They got vision on Zac at the bottom lane, so nothing happening here. Tied on CS. Each of them got Scuttle. Olaf looking to return potentially.
And we see Akaza kind of coming in here. Lands the Q. Oh,
Oh!
no. Amanda traded the 1-for-1, but I don't know if that's what you really want to see.
Yeah, Wave is still fairly in favor of Giyu, but the fact that he gave her a first blood, and that's a first back chain vest, that's absolutely like insane for this Cassante here.
No, and he's got some wave pressure to poke under turret. Although Talia's looking to mix pressure, but Skarner's here to answer. We're looking...
Ooh.
Oh, and he just gets taken out by the early Pantheon damage. Skarner getting chunked as well. Is he going to be able to live through this?
I don't think so. It burns Flash and the E. Q should be coming up here, but falls short for Pantheon.
This is really bad tempo loss for red side here. Let's see if they can get a little bit of something on the bot lane here. We have a little bit of poke. Olaf's coming in to kind of try and catch this out. And both red side AD carry and mid have to blow their flash to live there. We do have a little follow-up from Talia trying to catch them on their way back, but it seems like it's just going to be a little bit of trading back and forth there. Talia's a little low, though. We do have Morgana looking at possibly getting something here. Looks like Talia was a little greedy for that last little bit of wave.
Yeah, that's one thing. Haven't played against Small Brains last split, and knowing these guys like I do. Fiddsticks, he reminds me a lot of Mark Cutie. He's on the map. He affects it. He ganks mid and top a lot with roams. Like this Morgana, if there's ever a point where she's unlocked, which is very easy with Sivir, especially BF Sword Sivir, he's going to affect the map quite a bit.
Yeah, if you're going to leave an AD carry alone on the bot side, Sivir is definitely one of the ones to lead down there.
Ooh, slow hits on the Q, unstoppable channeled from top side. And
Blue side is putting a ton of pressure on this top side Cassante. They really do not want him enjoying this game.
also Tear of the Goddess coming out on this Pantheon here. Huh. Wonder if that's going to be Muramana or Winter's Approach. And he's back again, topside.
And you can kind of start to see it though, but Cassante is starting to get a little bit of an XP lead from all that pressure. Red side's taking a pretty free dragon here. Looks like there's no pressure. Blue says, hey, grubs are coming up at 20. We'll take a stab at those.
I think the Grubs is going to be a big point of contention here with the Olaf, with the Pantheon here. But also getting Grubs away from Azir. He can, like, deceivingly split push very well.
And don't forget Sivir as well. I mean,
Yeah.
see how fast she's already clearing this wave. If she gets the opportunity to just side lane for even a few moments. Oh, we see the ult coming out of Sivir here. She doesn't have any mana to follow up, but they are going hard for this turret dive. Morgana takes a lot of damage. Managed to avoid the Yunara RW. And it looks like we are just going to leave that play.
Yep, one Grub taken over by Akuza already. Talia does have ult to join his flight, and so does Pantheon. But I think Olaf could have sat there and autoed there for a little bit. There's no anti-healing on anybody else.
Talia's really holding onto these buttons, but saves the E, able to get Cassante low. There's the flash from Cassante. We see a little bit of poke coming out from Talia. Are we looking at anything else here, or are we just going back to our lane assignments?
I think we're going back there. Well, no, Olaf is still on the map here, so
We do see the bot lane and the support coming up to try and fight these grubs, but there's already the 2 grubs for the feed. Are they going to look to maybe play this fight out?
You're committed here. I think you just turn around and
Oh,
oh,
beautiful Azir ult following up the Talia.
well, that's 2 over for the side of Small Brains here. So they take out the jungler and the support.
You know, don't get the feat, but, you know, 1 grub and a kill, not too shabby.
Yeah.
They sent the Cassante down to catch the wave so Yunara doesn't get her free push. Ooh, and there's the mid lane ganks like we were talking about from that Skarner.
Yeah. Yeah, when Talia burned the Unraveled Earth there, I just kind of spelled doom. There's nothing to stop the Skarner.
And it looks like Skarner's wanting round 2 down here, trying to catch this Yunara out.
Oh, Fidstick's making his appearance up top lane here.
That's a lot of burst damage coming out. Are we going to get a kill?
No.
Oh, she lives with just 1 HP. Meanwhile, Yunara got taken to half during that fight. Cassante is still standing pretty strong down there. Just looking to catch some XP and hopefully catch a cannon. So far, this has been a pretty fight-heavy start for this game. Red side's coming out with about a 1k gold lead at the moment. And it looks like we may be looking for a bot play here with bot lane coming back and red side surrounding. We gonna see the legendary 5-man gank bot here?
Looking that way.
Lulu's blowing everything she can to save that Yunara, but there's just no stopping 4 people there diving on top of your AD carry.
Yeah, and that happens a minute before Dragon. Pantheon's probably going to get at least another plate topside here with 2 grubs. Oh, well, okay, so TP out of Zenma means Azir will not have TP for this Dragon fight.
But they are getting some warding here. I think Azir's probably looking to push this wave, and he can just walk, you know, his little bird feathers down to the bot side.
That's true. Though with 2 grubs, there is a world where you could potentially forfeit this Drake and look at first turret here.
I will say, I think it might be hard for an Azir to look to stay and punish Pantheon. In a 1v1, I think Pantheon's got enough damage based on his items to do a little bit of one-shotting action. Blue side is not letting this go for free, though. A little bit of pressure coming out from Olaf onto the Sivir.
Sivir had to burn ult there.
That's no engage or disengage for red side. Red side might have to end up giving this up. I don't think they can take it.
Yeah, I think they're definitely poised to take this. Black Cleaver completed for Gyu up on this Pantheon top side. Is pretty massive. Zenma does have the shuffle ready.
And nobody really wants to hit this dragon because I think nobody wants to take the damage right before the fight starts.
Turret plating will soon fall.
They're trying. Oh, Clem's having to be burned there. One Punch gets the black shield used, but now that looks like they're gonna go in on him. Oh, big Lulu knockup.
That is absolutely massive, and there's oh my god! Oh my god, the Azir comes in and saves the day.
Lord, and that's 5-0-3 on this Azir now.
I was gonna say that's exactly when you want to see out the Lulu Olaf combo, but Azir there to punish and push them back into the turret after clearing the mid wave and getting Prio for his lane opponent. And we are seeing a lot of damage out of this Azir now. I think he's already starting to be the late game monster we are terrified to see.
Yeah, he's got a level lead on Talia here, 1 item, and these sword shoes is pretty crazy. So you can see, yeah, Jay in the chat leaving up his Azir is crazy. Yeah, leaving up his Azir with like no real hard engage, I think is the issue. I'm not sold that this Olaf needed to go in the jungle, because I feel like he needs more resources to just get to this kind of status where he can threaten the backline. But by the time he gets those resources, Sivir and Skarner and Azir will be at their late game status.
You know, we did talk about, oh no, and Pantheon just getting taken out. We do see the Hometown Heroes coming back. And it looks like Cassante goes down to Leah not able to get knocked out here. We have Olaf going in with the R. Olaf still hitting, still R going, but does not want to dive that turret. And that looks like blue side kind of came out on top of that fight there. Although it may not be over. Garner's looking at this Olaf saying, hey, not allowed to just take that for free. But it looks like Azir is here to save the day yet again. Oh, it's a Pantheon TP.
Yeah, Azir is now TPing up top side, so TP's used here between both teams. Also, note Blade of the Rune King coming out for Arya on this Yunar.
Now, I have not really seen Blade of the Rune King be a prominent item on her. I've normally just seen the Kraken Slayer build come out. I have heard a little bit of lifesteal's nice, but I don't know if you really want to go Blade of the Rune King into the enemy team here.
No, I don't. I still think it's Yuntol here, only because you want to be able to match late games here. Like you want to play this kind of late game insurance. Nice nice unraveled earth there from Talia. No, but I think if you know the enemy team is wanting to play for late game, I think you just match late game builds, and then you know, just hopefully your champ does damage to the front line.
Alright, it looks like we're trying to save this blue side turret, or at least get some kills for it. Yunar is just free hitting on the side, but they are some big beefy boys. But they are slowly getting burned down. Cassante is able to get out with his life, and it looks like it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, those feats of strength not taken yet by either side. I think whoever gets this this first turret will secure it.
A couple of different options and avenues for that as well. For red side, they could be looking at bot or top.
And actually,
And blue side.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No. Oh, you.
No, I was gonna say, it just looks like we are trying to find our way in. I'm looking for where are we gonna overload to try and get these feats for which side.
Yeah, and I actually don't think first turret will be feats for blue side here. They would still need to take one more objective in the form of a dragon. They've got the grubs and the Rift Herald here, but they don't have the feats of combat. I believe that went over to red side. So
I'm not very good with the spectator, so I don't know where to see that.
well, you're just doing just kind of the math up top.
Gotcha.
2 grubs is for 1 objective. Rift Herald's another 1. No
Gotcha.
dragons.
So we're looking at 2-2.
Yeah, we're looking at 2 to
And no
2
tower.
on the objectives, yeah. And then first tower, but I believe feats of combat, the first 3 kills went over to the small brains on the red side here. Oh. Well,
And it's going to go over to red side for that first turret, able to overload that bot lane.
so then I was mistaken. Then first 3 kills went over to. Actually, yeah, first 3 kills went over to the side of the Hashira. I don't know how you ever can overload a side into Sivir or Azir. It's just so much
No,
way clear.
especially when you give them this much gold early on. I mean, if we look at a little bit of the gold leads here, what is the swap button for that?
X shows individual gold.
So looking at the gold differences here, we've got a 2k gold difference in the mid lane towards the side of the Azir. We have about even gold for the 80 carries. Junglers are sitting... well, Olaf has about a 1k lead there, and we're looking pretty even in the top lane. So right now, the only option to really play through looks like this Olaf needs to start being the shining carry we know him to be with that Lulu, right?
Yeah. We do see turret potentially going down mid. TP going up topside. Otacon will give them feats of strength here. And it looks like they're zoned away from this a little bit. Rift Herald's still going to be pushing mid. I don't think it gets that second turret, though.
No, it's able to get some damage off, but it is going to go down in just a few autos here from the turret. Blue side was able to run up and be like, no, no, no. Cannot take this Otacon for free, but it looks like round 2 is still kind of hovering.
Yeah, you do have Talia and Pantheon ults available here. But it looks like... Are they trying to cheek and go to Dragon?
That would be kind of scary. They don't have any vision of the Olaf here. They have no vision in the bot side jungle, so they have no idea where this Olaf is at the moment.
It's true. They do not. But nice kind of play on vision there. The sweep does come out from Zenma. And it looks like Small Brains is going to come away with this team fight. But feats of strength will go over to the Hashira as they do pick up this dragon.
I want to point out, you know, Azir is able to just walk through his jungle and get that, you know, side engage. We have no vision trying to look for that flank from the Azir, and that's the 3rd time he's managed to come in and save the day with one of those Shurima shuffles.
Yeah, they picked the Talia to try and zone out this Azir, but they're just not marking him in these team fights at all. Oh.
I think if Blue side wants to start winning some of these fights, they're going to need some deep wards to try and cover some of these bases.
Yep, 100%. Seeker's Armguard picked up by the Azir, so Olaf is not really a threat to him, at least in this next team fight. I will say, Small Brains does not have any anti-healing coming up. I assume that Amp Tome for Fitsticks will turn into Grievous Wounds. But Yunara now on 2 items. Ardent Sensor's been completed by the Lulu.
Now, I know you're saying anti-heal's good here, but I don't know if it really matters as much with how much shielding and ult we're going to be getting from the Lulu on the Olaf here, you know? Like, I think that's the most of where his sustain's going to be.
Yeah, I don't disagree there. I just think at least one source, maybe on the One Punch Zac, can just help out the team fight. Because I think the Sivir still has to be worried about Olaf now that he's on 2 items. So TP coming out from Vic here. It's interesting. Arya just got murdered by the Azir autos.
Cassante still looks like he's looking to pressure them off a little bit here. Oh, and Olaf manages to get caught by a big Talia raveling Earth here. Knocks him back in. Yunara blows ult to try and keep pressure with some W's, but not a whole lot happening. It looks like Red's just going to keep pressuring. They've got the Skarner in the mid lane just bopping that turret.
Yeah, the fact that Olaf immune the Cassante ult meant Cassante could use it as a gap escape there, and Olaf was unable to keep autoing people. So the ult just eventually fell off.
Looking at these team compositions, I wonder if blue side really wanted to have a tank here, because imagine how much a Frozen Heart would do on a tank for blue side here, stopping the Azir and the Sivir from getting to do what they want to do for free.
Yeah, that is an interesting interesting point there. I still want to see where this Tear of the Goddess for Pantheon goes to. If he goes into like Winter's Approach in the Frozen Heart, then I think he can play the pseudo tank role, but still just not going to be enough.
I'm beginning to think he only took it just to survive the lane phase, because Cassante just has 3 mana Qs essentially with 30 mana per Q.
Yeah. You might be right there.
Alright, looks like we're making a play on the Cassante. Does Cassante get to do Cassante things, or is he just dead? He is just dead.
Well, there's a nice little pick in the side lane. Get yourself a turret as well. Olaf still has ult up.
I think blue side's wanting to take leads where they can and, you know, outer turret and catch the wave. We need to make sure we're catching the spot side as well, though. Azir's about to get free pushing. No, he's TPing to the top side. Now, it looks like they're wanting to contest this Baron play.
Well, Mono, though, falls mid lane to Arya here.
Azir's looking. We're going to be looking for an angle. We're about to see a Shurima shuffle come in.
Oh, Baron.
It's close, but blue side goes over to the side of Olaf. You see Zima looking in, doesn't find an angle for that Shurima shuffle, and it looks like blue side is going to walk off scot-free with a Baron and a kill.
2 kills, actually. Remember, Arya picked off Mono in the mid lane here. But this will end up being Soul Point. They got gates, actually. They might be able to fight this. The thing is, Olaf ult's not back up yet. Pantheon ult coming out, though, and so does the Weaver's Wall. The problem...
Oh, Shurima shuffle, you know, a little seismic slam. Azir able to pick off the Talia. The dragon does fall to blue side. They're able to deny that soul point. You know, if all we lose is a Talia and a Pantheon, it'd be okay, but Skarner's still looking for more, able to catch off. Oh no, Lulu just gets caught. And we just are following up, and it looks like we're not able to exactly take this turret, but, you know. It looks like blue side's kind of catching up here. They did lose gold with those 2 kills over to the red side, but it's not looking all doom and gloom, even though these score lines are looking a little different.
Yeah, I do think getting Baron off the board and then picking up the second dragon here was a nice sequence here for the blue side. They did extend this game, but again, it's Azir and Sivir. It's still going to be very, very hard to push into them. So, do see Executioner's Calling coming out of mono here. So, definitely some anti-healing. Zanya's fully completed onto Azir, so he's not going to be overly worried. We have another Lost Chapter item coming out of Talia. This will be interesting to see what this will be. Full Maul-Bound
Looking at the
Mortius.
item,
Now,
if I had to guess, it's probably going to be a Blackfire Torch coming out here looking for a full burn build going into the late game against those tanks.
yeah, I could see that, though. I'm kind of been on the Rurika train of double Lost Chapter items is not good. I would have loved
I don't
to see.
disagree. I think if you're Talia here, you should be looking at a death cap, or actually with the amount of MR that's showing on the side, the red side here, probably looking at a Void Staff. Honestly, third item.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably Crit Bloom if I were to say, just because you want the extra healing team wide to help supplement with the other two carries in Olaf and Yanara. But I mean, Blackfire is not going to be too bad.
Yeah, I definitely think at this point in the game, we are terrified of the Azir and the Sivir. Mostly the Azir for red side, but I think if blue side is able to kind of support this Olaf to be the best he can be, and give him all the tools necessary to succeed in these fights, it could go either way.
Yeah, this Olaf's pretty massive on 3 items here. Yeah, Zersiah, this is game 1, good sir. Death cap
And
almost completed for Zenma.
yeah, we are about 900 gold off of that death cap for Zima over there for Azir, and I think that if he gets death cap, that might be really, really hard. I kind of want to see some MR. Well, I guess he does have a Maw here. Is that... I guess he kind of needs to keep going damage. I want to see Asterix, I think, out of this Olaf next. Get a little bit of CC reduction. We see Talia looking to try and catch out the Sivir here. Not so successful, but we're just kind of prepping for this dragon fight that we're about to have happen in about 45 seconds.
Yeah. Note, you know, Rurika kind of beat me to it in the chat. With Maul-Bound Mortius, you cannot buy Sterix.
That is true.
Oh, wait.
Alright, and we see the ult come out. Olaf going diving. He got the ult. He got all the Lulu buffs, but it looks like they are just going to take all the damage from Sivir and Azir there.
Zenma literally shuffled in, Q autoed ult, and one-shot the backline of Arya and Tengen.
I mean, what are you going to do? He's 11 kills up. He has 20 more gold than the enemy team. Well, no, I mean, he's just a monster at this point. Like, 11-0-7, he's... If you're going to win this game, you got to take him out.
Yeah. Zenma with the, would you like to see a magic trick?
And
There.
all of this, by the way, without a Dark Seal.
Yeah.
Looks like they are taking the safe play, getting a Baron, looking to get on map as soon as they can. I expect to see a 4-1 here, with Cassante probably going to a side lane and the rest of them going mid.
Yeah. I think the thing that stands out now is no IE on Arya is a feels bad moment. Cause now
Yeah, we're looking at what, 4th item and we don't have our IE yet.
yeah.
Right. I mean, I think IE is a lot closer to hat for mages. It's like the hat for 80 carries, right? It is a must-buy by third item or fourth, but it feels bad on fourth.
I think it's actually more of a must-buy for AD carries on third, to where mages, their items have much better passives and utility around them. So you can get away with it fourth. Plus the build, I would almost say the build path feels a little bit better for mages.
Uh, Especially with that IE, I mean, we're saying Azir is a monster, but who's getting through the front line on blue side right now? Olaf can pretty much only deal with the squishies. He doesn't have enough damage to kind of get through those beefy front line of Skarner and Cassante. And I think we're about to see an engage here as this tower falls. We see Sivir looking for a pick. We're able to flash away on the Lulu. She's Eing away. Blue has to reset for some health because of how much they lost. And I think we're going to see a big fight here. This is Blue's last chance to make a difference. Olaf goes deep. It gets taken out immediately. Skarner's just singling out this Yunara. On the bot side, we just see Azir tearing everything apart.
Mono!
Able to finally get the Azir down. We have
They gotta save this turret here. I don't know if they're going to. Okay, actually,
honestly, I think it's better that the turret falls here because
yep.
it gives it a chance to respawn with full HP. Although we are going to lose the bot tower here as well, so that's one inhib, 3 towers down for blue side. But they walk away with 5 full ace. Not the worst, but it's the game's alive.
I think between Mono and Rurika, the tower has more kills than most of the league right now.
Alright, so what do we need to see out of blue side right now? Like, what is their way back into this game?
I think they gotta push waves out here and try to set a trap for Fid or whoever comes up to look at this dragon. If they don't, then I think they need to push even like a secondary wave out to stall and create more time and just get Arya to this IE. Do I think it's game changing? No, but you're going to feel a much bigger threat in team fights here.
Looking at the gold, it looks like she's about 900 gold off, so that's going to be really hard. We're going to need to see a triple kill on Yunara for that to come out.
Yeah. Alright.
And we see Cassante just taking absolutely no damage. Skarner's looking, but he's able to catch the Yunara out. We have Pantheon coming in from the side, and it is just absolute decimation from the red side, and I think that's going to be our game 1.
Yeah, that is definitely game 1 here. That was a really nice engage by One Punch. Getting off the cleanse with the E stun and then turning it straight into a Skarner R.
I think if we were to name an MVP for this game, I think we both have the same name on our mind.
Yeah, Zenma, I think, really stood out for me that game. But, I mean, One Punch still created quite a bit all over the map as well, so...
I do think that One Punch was able to get a bunch of leads for the team. The one thing I think that the blue side there is going to have to keep in mind is Zima was able to get those massive flanks for those first 3 team fights. That's what got him that monster lead. I think if we want to see a little bit of a change, we need to be making sure that we're looking out for those flank potentials from the mid laner there.
Yeah, there was just overall not much pressure given to Zenma, and I mean, you let him play Azir, which he's very, very well known for, without pressure. It's becomes very hard to deal with. So, but yeah, fantastic game by the Small Brain No Mechanics team here to take game one.
Now, we do have a couple of priority picks taken away here. What do we think bans are going to stay the same for this next round of bans?
Um, Potentially, I still think um they will try to ban out One Punch and at least get him onto something uncomfortable. But also knowing having played against the Hashira a little bit, I think they're a team that's very well built for the red side, and that's what they're going to take here this game too. Guillaume has a lot of really aggressive picks, and I'd like to see him go to one of those. He hasn't played like his Yone or Yasuo or Akali, anything like that.
Mm. Those kind of champions do need a little bit of setup from the rest of the team to function, though, inside of those team fights, though.
hmm But it actually looks like they're going to stay blue side. They did change it as we were talking. Yeah, so it is now official. They're the Hashira will be on blue side. Small Brains will be on red side. So, um, I am going to go grab a drink real quick. So I am pretty thirsty. We recorded Midwest Weekly and then went straight into this. So,
Ooh, busy day.
yes, it was, and I had to work on top of that. So, I
Oh no.
will. Yeah, I will be right back here in just a couple minutes.
Sounds good. Looks like we are just going to wait a few minutes for this draft to get started anyway. All right, and it looks like we have the draft starting. Looks like we are keeping some of our round one bans with the Zac. It looks like we're probably going to be the same across the board here for the first three bans for each side. Keeping the jungler off those tanks, it seems like, man, the surprise Ivern. And I'm assuming we'll see a bear here for red side. Yep, we do see that ball bear.
Hello, hello.
Hello, we are looking to see what the Hashira are going to pick for this B1 draft.
Yes, I was coming to see if I could join you guys for game two.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw pretty much all the game when I was watching it at the nearest Walgreens.
All right, and it
Crazy,
looks
crazy
like
leaving up
we
that
see the
Azir.
yeah, Zir went crazy, and it looks like the Hashira is going to go with a blind way here. Pretty neutral mid laner, can be flexed in support role. I think Hui is a pretty good blindable pick for multiple different reasons here.
Yeah, and I have it on good source to know that a certain mid laner does not like playing into way. So funny enough.
Fair enough. We do see a Tristana. Now we don't know if that's in response to the Hui or if that's going to be an AD carry. And we see a Sejuani coming out here. So I kinda am curious what we're going to respond to the jungle with that. And it's still hard to say if we are blinding AD carry if we're playing into Tristana here.
Yeah, for me, I'd love to see a Trundle here. Trundle's been actively a really phenomenal jungler at this point. It's a well-known counter into the Sejuani, so
I
that'd be
think
my pick.
Alistar's pretty fantastic here. Getting either that Sejuani or Tristana away from a fight.
Yeah, that's like,
And
there's the hover. Xin Zhao technically is a counter to Sedge, but it's not as strong as it used to be into the Sedge pick, man. For me, like, though I love the value it brings in like a team fight setting, I think Trundle's just better, and you already have a great setup. But they're gonna lock it in nonetheless. So uh,
I
that's
will say there's still enough picks on red side to find ways to kite out that Trundle, because if he's able to get kited, he doesn't have a good time throughout the game, especially on a jungler's budget.
and this is true, but the way I see it is, you don't want to play the pick to be necessarily jumping on their faces all the time. So, but
And we
now
see the
Setchel,
Braum come out.
Sejuani Braum.
Oh,
Now, Alistar's good in the Braum. So there's that. There's that one side of things. I know, like you can kind of have the counter play when you throw Q and he all-ins you. Um, but
but we're
on
also
that
looking
basis,
at Sejuani Braum permastun between the Sejuani Braum autos and then the Sejuani Braum autos.
yeah, yeah, it can be really tough to play. Um, so I'm really curious where they're gonna go from here. I think at this point you have enough. You have enough engage slash disengage from the side of the Hashira. And some of the same thing with small brains. I really hope that they play for some range in here on their team. Um, I'm trying to think what would be kind of good here.
You know what I think would be great from the Hashira looking at this team? Would be Mila is looking kind of disgusting with the ability to dodge auto attacks in those team fights, get your off, to avoid the Braum passive and Sejuani passive. But it might
My-
be a little hard with all that beef.
Yeah, I think that's a bit risky of a pick. It could work. The theory craft is there, but I still think some range would be solid.
And
Make
I
it
do
harder
think
for Sedge and Braum to just walk in for free. Like they let them take some poke damage before they get in.
we still don't have confirmation of where this Tristana is going. I think it's still. I'm not sure if it's the flex pick, but I think it still could go either way with it.
I can tell you, it's probably just gonna go mid here. I mean, 80 carry here. Unlikely is Zema gonna play it. He can play it, but I'd be genuinely surprised if it goes mid.
I'd like to
Yeah,
I'd like to note that the Hashira week 1 played Hui bot lane, so that's still on the table as well.
so that could be a flex pick as well. And actually, Hui kind of goes pretty decently into bot wave here. Silas is picking up a couple of decent ults, specifically the Alistar and Xin Zhao ult look pretty good for Silas. Hui ult is a take it or leave it, but it does have damage. I think... Ooh, Rise. So we're seeing Rise mid here. Or I guess it could go top. We're looking at a pretty, like, short-ranged blue side with heavy melee team comp for
Yeah.
our small brain friends over here.
I think Hashira's comp is it's not looking that good in my opinion. I think so far, and we'll see what the SAR 5 is. I think small brains a bit of a slight draft diff at the moment, but I will say the Hashira, they played phenomenal last week after losing the Scorching game 1. So sometimes I will say draft isn't everything, but it just seems like Hashira's comp is gonna have a harder time playing into Small Brain's comp. Small Brain has a lot of range. The CC is insane. I mean, Silas is pretty much unkillable in this game with Alistar alt. It does not look fun. Karen.
I
That-
mean,
Karen, maybe not my favorite pick of the comp, but it's fine. It one-shots people. So If you get on top of this
So
Jin Zhao, you get on top of this Alistar, you can make them pop pretty quickly at this point.
I think for small brains, we are playing for the Sejuani to be the core of your fight. Like Sejuani Braum are just there to get things started, and Silas, Garen, and Tristan are there to finish things off. Meanwhile, the Hashira look like they are just looking to slowly chip away, I guess, with a little bit of Hui and Narpoke, and they're just going to be wanting to play keep away. I don't really see the engage angles coming from the Hashira. Although I guess there are a couple of combos. I mean, we could see the Hui Nar combos not too shabby, honestly, if they're able to get that kind of team fight off with Alistar and Xin Zhao playing Peel and Ryze playing cleanup duty, right? And Hui's honestly a pretty decent pick in terms of dealing with, he's one of the few mages I think is fantastic into tankier comps. Because the burn build's just so effective with his QE.
Well, now I'm just mad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little. I could see where the comp could have success, but I'm a little worried about the comp. I mean, if it falls behind,
My will.
I could see it being extremely hard to play.
Happy to sit this one out.
I will say, we have Xin Zhao as our jungler
Questions
here,
my ability.
but he really wants to play an early lead, and I'm looking at bot lane, Tristana Braum, I don't want to go into that. I look at the mid lane with Silas, and maybe if Silas is already committed to a fight, then get a pick. But I don't want to go in with all of Silas' abilities up. And I look at top lane, and I laugh at the fact that Xin is never getting his third auto off on Garen, and he just Qs and runs away. So where is Xin going to get his lead for this early game?
I mean, he's got places to pressure. I feel like. I mean, the early is probably the part of the game I think the Hashira might be okay playing. As long as they're not getting. No, maybe not. Oh, yeah, I think you should avoid bot lane. It's probably just top angle, I guess. I don't know. I mean, mid they could kill Silas because of root. You don't really want a 2v2, I feel like, though.
Ignorant thrall.
It is
I
definitely
think-
not easy.
No, I think
I'd rather be
honestly,
home anyway.
if I'm Xin Zhao here, the best person to fight, unironically, is probably the Sejuani. Especially once you get your first item going with the if you're going the Eclipse build, right?
The Medadas do not forgive or forget.
Well, we'll have to see what these teams decide to do. I mean, the early lane phase is going to be really interesting on the side of Hashira because it is Huawei bot, right? But it's into a Braum, so he's not going to be able to get as much free poke off, I feel. Especially when he gets the wall.
So, I don't know how many people are very familiar with Huebot, but the first few levels are actually pretty bad for Huebot. Like, once he gets to, like, level 5, you're a lot better because you can just QE on repeat, but early on, his cooldowns are really long and pretty easy to punish. And he has to either commit his resources to securing those last hits or to getting some poke off early. But if he's able to get to level 5, his Q's on a much shorter cooldown is a lot easier to just, wave clear and run, right?
Ah, yes. The classic mage thing. Clear wave and run. I don't know, CLT, what do you think of these two?
Well, now that I've had a chance to look at them a little bit more, I think both comps have advantages and disadvantages. I think it's going to be very hard for small brains to just like blindly engage and run into the Hashira's comp. There is a lot of stuff they got to run through, and you have stuff like Hui, Alistar, Rise, Gnar that's very good at kiting. If the Hashira gets behind, though, and they ever fear walking in the fog of war, they never get to play this game. Because Small Brains will have Silas, Garen, Sejuani, like procking Sejuani and Braum passives very quickly. And there's nothing stopping them from getting to Tristana either, so... I think it's going to come down to the Hashira getting early leads in the laning phase. I heard Zelda mention that Hui's bot lane laning can start off weaker in the levels. I think it's kind of lane dependent. In this case, I think the Braum can neutralize the lane a little bit, but Alistar does have a lot of setup to assist Hui. So if they don't get poked out as much for Small Brains, then yeah, Hui kind of gets neutralized early.
I think you pointed out something I hadn't really thought of. But Small Brain is all engaged, no poke. There's not a whole lot for Small Brain to kind of set up a play. They're kind of just, we're in or we're out in terms of how they want those team fights to go. Right? They want them to go quickly and fast because they have absolutely nothing to really poke with.
Yeah, they're very short range, but I do like the skirmishing power out of Small Brains, especially in like river or grub fights, because you have melee champions like Silas who gets bursts of attack speed from his passive, setting up Sejuani passive very quickly. But then likewise you have the same Silas passive, Sejuani, and Garen, and even Tristana setting up Braum passive well. There's a lot of intricacies where auto attacks mean so much more in the Small Brains comp that if they start setting up CC and picks early, the Hashira could fall behind because they have wave clear advantage over Small Brains, so they could stabilize a game. But if Small Brains get to this point where they have control of objectives and the Hashira can't walk into, say, like Baron, once Small Brains gets Baron, it's kind of over.
Yeah, I think if Small Brains is able to set up an objective, it's really hard for the Hashira to really look at an angle to come into them. Because nobody wants to walk into a Sejuani Braum.
Yeah. Something we didn't even talk about or note, and this is actually crazy, but picking Gnar here and the fact that there's a Silas is just like asking to lose. I mean, you really are giving Silas more great setup. So I really think Hashira kind of fumbled for this draft. So if they're able to pull this draft on, man, I'm gonna be highly impressed. I'm in, by the way. Are you guys in?
As well.
15, 16, 17, 18.
Okay, I'm pausing at 25.
23, 24, 25.
I'm at 23. I'm at 24. I'm at 25.
Okay, pausing at 30 for a quick sec.
I'm at 30 now.
Alright, cool. We're all linked
Zelda
up.
was ahead of me by like a second and a half.
Yep, we're all good.
So I think we're good now.
We are seeing a little bit of a 5-man invade. Just getting word, doesn't look like a whole lot transpired here.
That's some good poke on the mono, though, so he'll be forced to reset.
Forgive my spectator lack of knowledge. What is the follow button to follow the action?
Are you referring to, like, not have to
Hotkey.
touch him?
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly don't know. I don't even know my hotkeys like that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So, if you're referring to directed camera, just...
It is D.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I've been casting all this time and I still haven't learned all the hotkeys or went in and changed them for myself. So
I know some of them.
Pretty nice Q coming out of the way there for the double Q poke. And seeing exactly what we kind of expect to see out of our laners here. Just some early trading, mostly healthy, hitting last hits. Looks like we are going to be doing the same thing we did last game with the junglers, with red side pathing bot. See a little bit of a kerstuffle in the bot lane, getting a little poke on that way.
Yeah, not respecting that level 2 advantage there and being forced to flash for the way here is pretty big. Especially with Sedge passing towards bot side.
Yeah, I think though, if they do have some early vision on where
Machine Ping's on a play in the mid lane actually. Going to try to jump on him. Is going to not land the change, but that is due to the flash. So, Eyes will find himself pretty safe there.
Both junglers. It looks like Sejuani's a little bit behind on their clear, but that's somewhat to be expected.
Yeah, when you go for level 3 ganks, that's usually what happens. But burning the flash on the rise is pretty huge. So,
Especially for Silas, where he's looking to make those hard early trades to kind of punish the mid laners before they can get their real poke started.
So considering a dive top, Garen does have no E, but he does have his W. I think this is going to be really, really hard to pull off. Nice poke on him, but nearly dying under the turret is a Gnar.
Yeah, looks like Zen wasn't really able to find an angle, but we see the response in the bot lane. We
And
see
it's
a
Alistar.
lot of damage coming on the Alistar, but he walks away with a little bit of Aftershock proc, doing a lot of work to keep him healthy there.
As Aftershock plus the Hui W shield was insane.
Yeah, it's enough to keep him safe for now. You know, you got to imagine that the Alistar is not near his turret. It goes, but lucky for him, they're near the safety net of the turret.
Yeah, Hui's looking a little low on mana. Doesn't surprise me. They're looking for a recall here, but Braum isn't letting them do that for free.
Yeah, and you see that ward that was on the Krugs? It's pretty big. The Jin Zhao was not going to get a free gank off. So, not sure they know, but he's just going to path upward. And, I mean, really, Red's vision is phenomenal here. Small Brains really watching the pathing here of the Jin Zhao.
And we see
Oh,
another
flash
Harding.
in there. Oh, Marno puts himself under the turret, though, to that flash. He's going to be able to get out of the turret's range and just survive. One insane engage attempt, nearly ending badly.
Hui does not have any mana to contest here, but we do see
No,
Zen
but,
Zhao
yeah,
looking
he
to clean
does
this
here.
fight up.
He needs to, I feel like he just needs to start on his Q. Alright, they're going to be able to knock up Fid. Fid does have flash, but he's not going to use it. And that's first blood going over to Guillaume.
Not a bad response for that fight going off. Get a basic push off here, and it looks like we see Sejuani in the top side here, trying to take a little bit of those jungle camps in response.
Yeah, it looks like he's probably going to get both of them. Which means that this Gnar is going to have to be careful. He's going to take away the ulti. And this Gnar is going to find himself in a really bad spot. Good night. Zema doing Zema things like usual, knocking him down.
And you were talking about stealing that Gnar ult. Gnar's not very happy considering I don't even think he was level 6 yet. Oh, he was level 6, but he was still stuck in mini Gnar.
Yep. That's pretty much how it's going to go most of the game for Gnar. If he ever's in silence against the Silas, it's going to be darn near impossible to play. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it pans out there. But so right now the game is pretty close. It's pretty much even, tied up here at 11K.
I mean, Juicy Lost Chapter now on this way. He's going to be able to actually use his abilities, and oh, that's a beautiful double passive proc on both of those laners.
Yeah, they're busy trying to focus down the Yellow Star and get punished for it. Meanwhile, though, Engage mid lane. Beautiful ult there by the Sejuani. Phase rush for Guillaume is finding his way out, which is actually insane.
Catalyst doing the Lord's work there.
But what that does mean is some plates there in the mid lane. One Punch, though, is going to try to turn onto this. Now, Akaza does not have the level up yet. They're going to try to flash and they're trying to burst him down. Not able to get the kill, but he does try to get in there. Zema using the Crescent Guard to save his jungler. Going to turn back onto the Azir, flashing in, but that means he has no flash. And Giyu has arrived. Nice change. He's going to be able to at least trade one back. I believe one more Q is going to be enough. They're not able to get the kill, but they do pick up the Alistar. Oh, and look at this beautiful Gnar into the wall. How is this fight going to go? It looks like it's going to be advantage towards red side. Wait a second. This Gnar is doing work. The snipe, triple kill going over to Mono. It's a freaking bloodbath in the mid lane.
Alright, well, when it's all said and done, that is 3 kills for the red side and 4 kills for the blue side. Kind of evening out these the gold here. That was kind of an insane fight.
Yeah,
and it looks like blue side is going to try and take some of this tempo and play for grubs, and I think I see red side responding with a dragon in turn. That was absolutely massive from both sides there. Hui being able to pick up a whole bunch of damage. Oh, and Rise just walking where he's not supposed to be. His team's on grubs, and that should be a secured dragon for the red side.
Yeah, we see teams do this sometimes, and it baffles me. I mean, like you said, you see your team on grubs. I mean, there's no reason to walk into the red side right there. Nothing is safe in that side of the jungle. You gotta assume everything is warded, and there's no world you're contesting Drake there, right? I mean, unless you're using the Rise portal from grubs over. But meanwhile, Xin Zhao finds himself in a bad spot due to the Rise dying in the mid lane. We see that they're able to jump onto him, and Garen's gonna pick up a kill.
I guess he got the justice he deserved there.
Yeah, this feels a bit like Hashira not, paying respects to basically the situation on the map. Like after the Rise got punished for his attempted play, now you have an Azir, not an Azir, I'm sorry, a Silas that can free roam from the mid lane, and he's just gonna be able to find the punish. So that is what they do, and now they're up about 1.2k.
And I kind of want to look at the individual gold here, but we'll wait until we see what happens with the Sejuani, able to queue out. Okay. So if we look at the gold charts here, we see pretty even for the top lane, the junglers. Even the mid lane is still relatively even. But if we take a look at the bot, it's actually pretty even across the board. Actually, the biggest difference is the support gold right now, with Braum having about a 500 gold difference.
Yeah, and Stark is going to get caught here. He's going to be forced to have to immediately drop the flash, but so far so good. They're surviving the game pretty well. Zema did come down, but they decide not to dive here.
I think it's pretty scary to dive a Hui who You know, if you're putting all that pressure on Alistar, Hui's just able to free damage that entire time, right? Like, this is where I was saying, like, you know, red side doesn't really have any poke. They're all in or they're all out. If they're not able to secure the kill when they go in, it's kind of a rough time for them.
Oh, they're going to see Vic. Let's see if they're able to get the kill. I think he's going to get out just fine. Does have the phase rush. They're going to continue trying to jump on him. Meanwhile, bot lane's looking to make a play, but a beautiful flash on Amano will secure the kill on Stark.
Garen's still running.
Chasing the Garen underneath this turret. They do shut him down as Yu picks up that kill. A lot of action happening on the side lanes, but Amano's going to have free time on this turret, which I think is the biggest advantage here for red side.
Yeah, I would not want to see any more gold going to the pocket of this Tristana. The lead is starting to grow pretty heavily, especially with these plates going over to the Tristana.
Agreed.
And we already see that Yun Tall is... How stacked is it? It is almost completely stacked already. And we're probably going to see... Yep, we see a BF sword buy on the back, so I think we're looking at an IE for this Tristana next.
Yeah, and a lot of this gold lead is just mostly plates. I mean, yeah, it's 8 to 6 kills, but if you look across the board, you'll see that there's a lot of plates taken bot, multiple plates taken top, and it's pretty uneven. I think it's like, what, 6 plates, or, hold on, 2... 3. Yeah, so 6 plates to 3. Am I reading that correctly? Am I doing my math wrong?
1, 2, 3, 4. How many plates does that one have? 5,
Yeah.
6. So
Yes.
6 to
3.
2,
Yeah.
3, 4 plates. 6 to 4.
But did they get a plate on the bot side?
Yeah. There, it was another one on the mid lane turret.
Oh, I only saw I was at 4 plates. So, but nonetheless, I mean that's still a big advantage. Meanwhile,
Yes.
Akaza's going to walk into both Vic and One Punch, forced to run the way. Just barely getting out with his life.
I think this Hui has to be very careful. This is a scary lane to 1v2 here. One touch from either of them, I think, is the touch of death.
Yeah, and that's a good night to this poor Hui. Never stood a chance. Really well set up there by Fid with the glacial fissure there. And that's right before Drake spawns, so see what the setup is. They are going to try to jump on Mono. But yeah, I think it's the fight. Alistar is not the one you want to be in a 1v2. They're still trying to kill Zema. Are they able to pick up the kill? I think he's just going to have too much healing. And he's going to survive. Nice knockup, but it's just not going to matter. Again, Gyu came down trying to fight here. Vic's going to be on the way. One Punch actually have to be very careful here. Sejuani just flashing away in time, and a beautiful Buster Shot's going to knock him away, and they're just going to kill everybody out of the Drake. It might have been delayed kills, but that was a unofficial ace for a quick second there.
So, a little hard to see in the middle of that dragon pit, but I think I saw two of the Braum stun into Sejuani stun combos. It is so hard to fight when you are just perma-stunned from the Freljord champions there. We're seeing a nice, almost 5k gold lead going to the side of red after that play.
Yeah.
Akaza looking for a play onto that Tristana, not able to get it, but is able to get the flash out of the Braum.
But all that matters is Feet's going over to Small Brain, so they're well on their way to winning this game here, and I'm really not seeing the way back in for Hashira at this point.
I think if, you know, If the Hashira is trying to make their way back into this, they're going to have to use their poke to its absolute potential before these fights start. Because once they start, Small Brains is definitely looking pretty scary.
Well, that's Braum ulti down. I don't know how much that's going to help here, but it is down. But Zema's just going to find his way in there, get a nice amount of damage onto this way once again. I think we can pick up Zema here. He's in a a bad spot. He does eat out. They finally do take him down. Now, Guillaume is on the side here. He's able to mess with the bot lane, pushes them out. They're going to be able to shut down this Sejuani. Vic in the middle of 5. I don't think that's where this Garen wants to be. Demacia no more. And that's going to be 3 for 0. And a Herald going over to blue team.
I don't know if the Hui meant to bait out the Sylas into going to that tight little corner for the QEs to be raining down from Hui, but that's what ended up happening, and Hui just got to free damage while his team just kind of keeps him in place for him.
Look at Mono. He's kind of manning up, trying to make a play, but here comes the Rise just to make sure that that is not allowed. Though I'm sure he doesn't want to use the Realm Warp for a play like that. I think it's better to secure the objective than to not.
You know, and that's the kind of plays we're going to want to see out of the blue side here in order to stay in this game. Just keeping that pressure before fights begin. They were able to bait out Glacial Fissure, didn't hit anything. Tristana jumped in and it didn't hit anything. And they're just kind of sitting there with their cooldowns, you know, down and not really able to actively do anything.
You see Vicky's hunting. He does have flash.
But we see a little something popping up in the top lane here.
Yeah, they're going to try to look here on the Zema. Look like they have anything. They two burn even the TP to make this play. Well, Garen just being a nuisance and proccing in the mid lane.
And we're going to have a little bit of a lull here. We are waiting a minute and a half for the dragon to spawn, but we see Otacon spawning in 45. I don't really expect either team to be playing for it on spawn, but it is something to keep an eye out for, and we see some resets.
Oh, and they're going on to Hue here. They do miss the initial chains, but it doesn't matter because the Braum passive is going to make sure this Hue does fall.
And I feel so bad for the Sway, but you cannot stand up front at all. That's what your Alistar's for, and you kind of need your Alistar to be up front and letting you try and farm these waves safely, because there's always somebody lurking when you have dashes coming in from the Sejuani or the Sylas on either side. There's lockdown potential everywhere you look.
Well, they're going to pop the Herald mid here. I don't think it's going to get too much. Obviously, it will break the initial turret. But Akaza does take a bit of damage before this Drake. He's going to go to his Wolves and try to heal a bit off the camp. So, should be returning with enough HP. The problem is, it's going to be a very, very hard fight for them. Especially with Gnar ulting out now. I almost feel like they should be looking on to Fid, and they are going to do it beautifully. Well done by the CC. He does flash out, but the Bromwell was kind of misplaced. Now let's see how the fight goes. Beautifully done there by Silas getting his own Narwhal. But Akaza's going to evict him. He's going to turn on to Zema. He's trying to flash in there, but a Buster Shot's going to secure, and he is not able to finish the kill. And now
Red
they're going to turn on to
really
Drake.
low here.
They are low, but I don't know it. Wait, Guillaume's going to go in here. That seems kind of insane. But not going to be able to find a way into this Drake pit. And in the end, it's going to be sole point for Small Brains.
And it looks like they're going to continue this momentum and take Otacon. Nope, it looks like we're going to reset. They thought better of it.
You know, I think Blue Team really had a chance of winning that fight if the Jinzao played a little slower. I think the aggressive flash in there to try to burn the kill was just a little too much. But
Might be a
now one
little
punch.
too aggressive from red
Yeah,
side
they're
here.
going to probably burst him down. No, the Sheriff's Embrace is going to save him. Now they're going to turn onto the Garen. That means Vic is going to fall and get punished. With a one punch looking for that play. Question is, do they look for any Otacon stuff? Of course, Nar is going to get the top turret off of this play. Which will be a nice influx of gold back into the team. They are TPing in. There is TP on Vic once he spawns. Nar is going to reset and come to this objective with his own TP. But again, he is in mini form. And that is important. They're going to look onto Mono. Initially catch onto him. Now, Kaza does have that crescent guard. Well, he does pick up the shutdown. Beautifully done by this Zinzao. Now he does find himself in a really interesting spot here. He needs to be able to get over to the Otacon. He does W it to secure his E and escape route. Now here comes the TP in from Vic. They still want to fight for this objective. This is going to come down to Zema. Can he carry this fight? There's a lot of blinking health bars on the blue side, but Garen walking in initially. Who's going to get the spite? It's going to go over to the Zinzao, securing it, getting multiple kills, and all of a sudden, this game is flipped on its head, guys.
So I'm gonna say it here. I'm gonna say it again. There is no poke from the red side here. Hui is just able to start these fights and keep them going even when nothing is happening. He's just able to get so much damage off before the fight's happening, or even in the lulls of the fights when people are waiting on cooldowns. I think it's kind of becoming a detriment in some of these fights for the red side. They need to try and pick off this way because he is a problem.
Yep. And we just saw here too. I mean, Zema getting caught out here. You're starting to see small brains kind of fall apart a little bit. The focus is falling away just a little. Let's see if they can kind of turn it around. I do believe that they are more than capable of doing so, and they are of course sitting on Soul Point. But yeah, like you said, the poke matters a lot. And what was once about a 2K gold lead for small brains has now become a 3-point. Just exactly a 3K gold lead for the side of Hashira. So it's going to be a very interesting turn here.
If you want to look like where a lot of that gold is, just press X and take a look at that Xin Zhao. We are showing he has acquired almost 12,000 gold throughout the course of this game. And we saw him get that 900 gold shutdown on the Tristana. So this Xin Zhao is looking really scary and has to be dealt with every time he's looking at a pick.
Yeah, 100%. It was a really nice play by him, able to get into the Dragon Pit to finish off the Tristana. It was very close. I mean, Tristana nearly living, but once she fell, I mean, there was only so much damage left on the side of Small Brains, and now that's kind of what I'm going to be looking out for as this game continues. Can Mono keep himself safe? And if so, I think Small Brains has a good shot. If not, it's going to be kind of scary.
And I think it's going to be a lot of the same coming from the Hui as well. Because if, I feel like if, Red Side's able to get a little pick on this Hui, they're in a lot better spot than without him.
I want to be honest, I'm surprised they didn't initially turn onto one punch, but instead they're going to try to make a play onto here to Fid. Nice Crescent's guard is going to keep Akaza safe, but did they bite off a little more than they can chew? Nar is in there. A beautiful play here on the Zema. Zema's going to be the first one to fall. What are the cooldowns like? They're going to turn on Mono with a nice head of a pulverize. They're going to pick up this Tristana. Now Baron is on the table, but here comes the Realm Warp. Going to bring in two. Fidsick is trying to run, but I think they're going to be able to catch on to this Braum. He does use his flash to survive, so it looks like they're probably going to stop their chase. Will they turn onto the Baron? It does look like they're going to, as Vic is doing circles over there.
We're looking beefy over here on the side of Small Brains, but I'm not gonna lie, Azakana's looks like there's just so much damage that the tankiness doesn't matter.
Yeah, now all of a sudden we're tied in kills. We're not tied in gold. This gold lead is starting to balloon, but Soul is gonna be acquired, it looks like. Can they get there in time? It looks like they're going to be able to. They recognized it pretty quickly, but look, The entire team has respawned. They haven't all reset. Vic is pushing mid. He's getting pressure. He's going to have to back off here. But it looks like they are going to give Soul for now. And how this game gets interesting for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, and we are looking at a Cloud Soul game here. On the side of, Small Brain, it's kind of really good for Tristana, gives her the peel she needs. Garen loves Air Drake Soul. So does Braum, Sejuani, Silas. If they're able to get the Soul, they're going to be able to move around this map a lot and look for those one-shot dives that their team is built for.
Yeah.
So I think the Soul is pretty much needed in order to kind of contest with the Hashira at this point.
Yeah, agreed. And a big thing just happened there while you were talking. The Silas actually burned his flash, so you able to actually win in the side lane here against the Silas. Of course, there is a level advantage here. Actually, in fact, 2 levels. That makes a big difference. But nonetheless, Anar is doing a lot better than I would have expected in a side lane against the Silas pick. Oh my goodness, the damage onto this Garen. Is he just gonna die here?
I mean, we did say that that was scary, able to live.
Alistar? The Jinzao is scary, but not that scary if your Alistar is flashing under the turret and letting himself go to the next life.
I do want to make a quick point of reference to we have 2 tank supports, and both of them have built Redemption.
Yeah, that is
showing why it's getting nerfed next patch.
Yeah, it's 100% the correct build though, so I'm happy to see that. Meanwhile, though, Vic TP to try to catch out this Gnar. So once again, yeah, they stopped the push on the top side of the map. They were able to get the kill, but no flash on the Silas, no TP on the Garen. Drake still in 2.5 minutes. Flash might be back up for Zema. I don't think it's going to be. So that's pretty big at the start of this Drake fight. And again, no Garen TP for sure for it. So these are big things to note that have been burned. Otherwise, on the map, it looks like everyone else pretty much has their main sums. Of course, Alistar just used his, but I don't think Ali needs his flash as much.
Nope, especially since he has Hex Flash. And we see the Baron buff finally go down. It looks like we're going to be looking to this blue quadrant to try and clear some vision for the upcoming dragon.
Yep. That might have been a negative Baron Power play, by the way. If we could track Baron Power plays, it might have been. They didn't get any turrets, right? And they died.
They did not get it. They did not get the top turret there for all that pressure they put on it. Red side's making sure that we have no ward coverage, but the banana bush looks like it's still got vision in it.
Yeah, and banana bush, as everyone knows, is probably the most important bush when it comes to these objective fights on either Baron side or Drake side. Due to the Baron we got, it's not as impactful, right? But for the Drake side, I mean, the banana bush is huge.
100%. And we see it getting cleared right here before the Drake. Although Red side has not set up any wards of their own aside from one Farsight. So we do see Garen possibly looking at a pick on this Gnar. Doesn't have vision though. And it looks like he's just going to be spending his time picking up this wave.
No. They're going to be able to pick out this Gnar for sure. TP, though, is going to be used to try to secure his safety, but he's hopping away from the TP, but the team is coming. That means Garen is forced to back off. W doesn't land, but Gnar, he does not have Mega Gnar here for a little bit, but he is going to TP back into the fight with full HP. That's the most important thing. And let's see how this fight plays out. Now, Baron does spawn in 45 seconds, but there is about a 30 seconds difference between Soul and Baron spawn. So I do believe they're just going to hit this Drake basically when it spawns here. Try to burn it as fast as possible. And here we go. Are we going to get a fight over the objective? It looks like they're just going to back off and play for Baron Vision. They feel like they have time to stall. They have the Tristan to scaling. And it's going to get pretty interesting here. This Baron spawns in 20 seconds.
Yeah, and we don't see, I was saying before that the blue team has a really hard time walking into the red team, but they are not set up for this objective. They are not on it quite yet, and it looks like they're going to have to play into the side of the Hashira.
Yeah, but once again, Meganar has been popped, so if you don't use it here, he's going to go mini, and that is big. As you see, they're playing very passive, just to not fight during this Mega, and it's going to fall off once again.
I don't think either team really wants to start this without seeing a lead, because I don't think a 50-50 is really good at this point. There's a 5k gold difference towards the side of the Hashira, but I think this game is still pretty even overall.
I mean, just on what, nearly on fourth item here, working towards, I believe, what's going to be a BT in the end. So she's really, really strong. Huawei also working on his fourth item. I will assume he's going for a decap. I think at this point that's probably the correct thing to do. So yeah, everyone's pretty much at this similar scaling points. Meanwhile, as I say that though, Vic's gonna find himself in a really, really bad spot. Will he be able to escape? I do not think so. They do drop the redemption, but it's just not enough. Now Fit is forced to run away. The whole team coming in, and good night to this Braum. No chance at living. 2 picks later, and the small brain way is the only way. The way of the death.
I don't want to downplay these Rise teleports have been fantastic for making sure that Red stays down whenever they get a pick or a play. Rise makes sure that play is finished in their benefit.
Yeah. I am highly impressed with Hashira this game. We talked a lot about how I do not believe in the comp, and you know what? They've been proving me wrong so far. I do think some mistakes by Small Brains is part of that, but nonetheless, you got to give them their props. They played an excellent game up to this point. So now let's see if they're able to close it out with this Baron. As it looks like Alistar's on the hunt. He is chasing, trying to catch Zema. I don't know if they're going to be able to. He might have the angle here. Nice flash from Zema. I feel like that just came off cooldown too.
Yeah, I think it did as well. I think what I really want to see out of Small Brains here is they've got...
I want to see this out of Small Brains right here. Beautiful engage, at least initially, but they just don't have the burst to get through them. And now they're going to be forced to run away. Fitz is going to have to back off here. If he plays a little too far up and find himself caught out, they're going to jump onto Garen. Do knock him up, but they do not have enough damage to kill, so just a little poke. Now let's see if they can utilize this Baron to collect another turret. They did take down the mid turret while all this was happening.
I really want to see Small Brains make sure this Tristan is getting into fights, because she's basically, her and Xin Zhao are the only damage coming out of these teams' fights.
I think a lot of that has to do with just, it's so hard, regardless of all the CC they have, it's so hard for people like Zema to just free hit, right? He needs to play off these big ultis. Right now he has the Crescent Guard, which is not too bad. It is going to give him some safety if he goes in. But you see Vic trying to find a flank. There's just nothing there. And they're going to try to play I'm too Fidsick. Not going to use the Gnar ult.
I wasn't quite able... Saw the vision, wasn't quite able to get in range for that big 4-man, so he holds his ult instead. I think it's the right decision. They're able to get the turret pretty cleanly, and lose nothing in the process.
Yeah, and guess what? Back to Drake. So we have a Drake spawn here in 36, but wait a second. Gnar is sitting on a ward. Now, what's this Tristana pushing? No one else was there. He's still sitting there. He's not hitting the wave. This is interesting. Are they going to be able to find nothing? They're pinging it, but it looks like he is just going to walk away.
And again, Small Brains is not in position to hold their ground for these Drakes. Now we have Baron buffs kind of pushing these waves in, but the Baron's going
But
down.
they might have found this Gnar. Let's see how this is played. There's a lot of damage coming out of Mana. Beautiful Buster Shot. He does get a multi-man into the wall. He's going to do a lot of damage. He gets his stuff popped. Nice redemption coming in. The Fryers are going to shut him down. But what does it mean for the fight? They're going to jump on Mana. Mana's kiting for his life, but it's not going to matter. Here comes Akaza to take him down. Braum is left dead as well. One punch, you can run, you can hide, but I don't think this boar is meant for this world. Go ahead and make yourself a pork soup.
And I think it's pretty feels bad when you see Garen with TP still up, not responding to that fight whatsoever. Instead, he's going for some pressure mid lane, but meanwhile, the Hashira is just taking this bot side turret and inhib, and this might be the game.
Yeah, this is 100% the game, and we are going to game 3. Be damned as it is. The Hashira will not go down without a fight. We're going to game 3.
Oh, that was well played by both sides. I think Small Brains was not able to get into the position they needed to be to hold their ground for these objectives because, you know, we have a lot of pressure coming out from the Hashiras, Xin Zhao, and Hui Poke, but I feel like if they were just able to hold their ground a little bit better, Small Brains might have been able to pull out a win there.
Yeah, it was very close. Not close enough, at least not in this one. CLT, what'd you see from this? I know you were quiet for most of the games.
I was just letting you guys put in work, man. Yeah. But I think kind of what we talked about in draft a little bit, you know, Small Brains doesn't have the most amount of range built into their comp, so it was just very, very hard for Garen or even Silas to do something once the grouping happened.
Agreed. And it looks like we're going to be swapping sides. They're going to have a harder time doing it because, unfortunately, we're all in here. Spectators, what jerks we are.
Do we have a third draft link? Because there was only 2 for that setup for the draft.
Yeah, whoever set this up does not know really what they're doing, so we need to discuss this with the team captains here. What's going on, guys? No, I'm sure they'll have another one. It's not going to show.
It was going to be a quick 2-0.
Maybe, maybe. I mean, it's easy to also not click all the correct buttons and not realize it, right? So, let's not assume. Well, there it is.
Now, I feel like all the champions that are off the board are actually pretty unique. We still have most standard comps seem like they're pretty available for this game 3. I'm kind of interested to see what's going to come out. I know CLT was saying earlier, you know, looking for a Akali or Yone Yasuo from the blue side of Hashira. We'll see if maybe this is the game they get to, you know, be a little aggressive.
Well, they are in red side. They're definitely going to be able to get their counter pick here. We've seen both teams play, and we've seen wins on obviously both sides, I believe. So no side advantage, it feels like, for this series. It's just gonna come down to the last one. But I know Hashira played both their games on blue, so let's definitely see how they respond here. Um, and then what's what Small Brains has cooking for the first pick.
You know, from watching both of these games so far, it seems like the teams are pretty evenly matched, and it's really come down to team compositions and execution of what those compositions want to do, leading to these wins. Because, I think for both games, the early game went to the side that lost, right? And then we just saw it flip the script once we got a little bit later into the mid and late game.
Yeah, agreed.
I know Riot fixed these lobbies a little bit, but I'd love for this to get fully fixed again, because these lobbies have been a mess the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, they have not been perfect, but they've added some nice features. Give them some time, Sometimes we kind of hate on Riot a little much more than we should. I think the spectator bug lasted too long, but with the exception of that, as far as this side of the things, they've done a pretty good job over the last year, I think, fixing some of the spectator issues. Um, they don't do the best job of fixing everything. We all have our complaints. We all know, but um,
Look, I'm
there's
not going to
lots.
complain for this last patch and this upcoming patch. Riot decided to bless me with buffing a majority of my champions and nerfing the ones I don't like. So, I'm not going to complain, at least for these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's good for you.
I'm expecting we're going to be seeing a couple more auxiliary mages, and we'll see how these other buffs are looking for some of the burst mages coming out this next patch. I know I saw Ari, LeBlanc, and Syndra on the buff list for this next patch, and I'd argue, I don't know if Syndra really needs it. Syndra's kind of scary right now.
I tend to agree with that. I thought that was a risky one. The one that don't make any freaking sense to me is Jax. Like, good lord. I get that. Fuck that champion.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about the Jax buffs either, but uh, we'll have to see what it is. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a jungle clear buff.
It's not. They're giving him more defensive stats on his R. He's going to be tankier earlier.
And I think we are going to see the same 6 initial bans coming out for both sides here. Looks like we're targeting the jungler for Small Brains and the jungler for the Hashira. I guess they just don't want their junglers to have fun.
No, this might be a world where there's some AP junglers coming out.
You mean with the changes, the buffs, or something like that? I missed what the
No,
conversation was
where
about.
so a lot of junglers are getting banned. Actually, you could argue all 6 bans are towards jungle.
Yeah, you can make an argument, but we all know the Maokai ban is a Fid ban, so we're all well aware of that one.
Yeah.
That's a pretty common one.
We do see a swap up with the Diana ban here, so it looks like maybe they know Small Brains was looking for a Yasuo play with the Diana and going for that disgusting combo I keep seeing over and over.
Yeah, I was curious if they were gonna ban the Ivern. They were considering not and just letting it through. And this is probably like so. I think there's two signature one punch stamps. It's gonna be the Zac and it's gonna be the Ivern for sure. Like his top two champions, very phenomenal at. But if there's a third one in his bag, it's going to be this Volibear. Now this could certainly be a flex pick, as we're well aware of Vic playing it in the top lane. But I'm curious how the Hashira are going to respond here on R1, R2.
Yeah, in general, I keep seeing Volibear is like he's just a good, solid early pick rotation champion. He kind of does a little bit of everything and can kind of build in multiple different ways to make it work. We see the Zaya coming out for R1, which is a little early for that AD carry in particular, in my opinion.
You just send the Rakan at this point. You just all in and just go for it. Yeah, all right. So we're committed. Now there are some possibilities for champions that could be a little frustrating for them to deal with, but as far as into Volibear so far, good response.
I don't know, if I'm blue side, I see Poppy champion, and I'm like, Poppy champion.
Yeah. That and maybe they will pull out the Poppy. I don't know if One Punch plays it. I know that Fid is not a Poppy player. Top side, I'm not really familiar with here, so it's going to be very very interesting if they do opt in for the Poppy. Poppy helps, but I don't think you necessarily have to go that direction. Um, there are certainly other champions that do pretty well into the Rakan.
I mean, we
So,
do see Jinx coming out, so we may just see a standard Jinx plus Enchanter uh, going here for the side of B2 and 3.
no, we're going to go with
Instead,
the Aurora.
and I think that might possibly be another flex. So maybe the Aurora's being flexed mid and top, and the Volibear's being flexed jungle and top. Maybe we're just kind of putting out some feelers for what's going to happen. But if it is Aurora mid, Syndra's not a bad answer for it.
Yeah, and I think this is an opportunity for small brands to kind of decide here. I think I know Vic does play the Aurora top, so it's not a bad direction to go if you want to send that as your top pick. She does have some pretty good matchups. She's not the worst as a blind pick. Um, but I do feel like more than likely Zema's happy to play it here. Trying to think
I
of
think
what else he would want to pick into Syndra.
I think small brains would probably want to ban out Galio here and get out that tank option for the mid lane into their comp if they decide to keep the Aurora top instead.
Yeah, I do think the Galio would probably be the best ban if I were considering the flex option. They might not be thinking there's any flexibility though. They're gonna ban out the Fiddlesticks, which means they are looking to ban out the supports here. I think Fiddle would be a nice wrinkle for for a bot lane pick. It's actually not easy for Rakan to play into either. Let's see what they go next. I feel like, and this is just my vibe, like Nico might be a good play here for small brains.
The Malphite ban is weird when you're flexing Aurora, and you have Volibear, who's also a really nice matchup into him.
Which
On the
makes
top
me
side.
think that's why I no longer think it's a flex. I mean, I know what they can do, but this is probably mid lane.
Yep.
Or they just don't want to deal with Malphite, which could be fair too. You have an immobile Jinx. Aurora, she's got mobility, but it's not crazy. Get rid of Malphite, and you're also getting rid of like a bunch of take options, right? Scion ban too. You're not letting them get free tanks. What's left out there? Cho'Gath.
Mundo.
Oh,
By the way, I'm pretty sure one of these blue picks is going to be Emilio. Kind of a disgusting champion with Jinx, Aurora, and Volibear. All kind of loving that. Plus, he's able to save those picks from the Syndra stuns. Kane getting picked for red side here.
that could either be extremely horrible this game or extremely good. That's basically all I see Kane.
Well,
Yeah,
is it top or jungle? Well,
Yeah, I mean,
I hope it's jungle. Top Kane is not been doing too great from what I've seen, and it looks like we're going for a tank support here for the blue side. I guess I was wrong. I thought the Enchanter was the way to go here.
you must not be a small brain way. Yeah, no, it makes the most sense for with the style they like to play. I do think Milio would have been better though. I actually fully agree because though Leona is good into Rakan, I think Milio is better overall for this game, and is also good into Rakan. So
I mean, just for the Syndra QE alone, but we see Gragas come out for. I guess it still could be top or jungle. I'm not really sure if
that's
Gragas jungle is still
it's
picked.
a Graga stop. It's a Graga stop. It's a mid
That
Aurora
is
Graga stop. Volibear jungle.
okay. This to me screams Mundo, like right here. Mundo or Galio, like on the
Mundo
top side.
loses early
Mundo
and is
loses to
not.
Aurora too.
I don't think it's that great in this game. Like, yeah, of course, if Mundo can get to that late game, man, that seems so risky in my opinion. I would not play it.
Ooh.
Mordekaiser,
Mordekaiser's pretty good, I think.
I'm in the. I'm. I don't have a. I don't know. I'm indifferent, I guess, on this one. The one that sticks out to me the most is the Kane. I hate the Kane pick. If it works, it works. But it's just like you're putting your eggs in a basket. I don't want my eggs in.
Yeah, so if we look at these team comps overall, it looks like we are playing a pit comp for the side of Hashira, and we are playing a front to back comp for Small Brains, playing for those Jinx resets, with a pretty decent peel coming out from the Gragas and Leona, and good engage from the Aurora and the Volibear.
You know, it's weird, but I actually think both comps can play front to
No,
back
just
well.
mad.
I do agree with your sentiment that overall I think picks are great for Hashira, but like the way they want to play front to backs on small brains is literally just the simple front to back, pretty much. Maybe you have Aurora or Gragas on the flank. For Hashira, you just want your Mordekaiser to find somebody like Gragas or Aurora and just take them to the Shadow Realm, and you're good to go. That's pretty much it. Just like send them out of here. Once that happens, I really favor Hashira's comp actually. I
I
think they're going to
honestly
be
see
nice.
this Mordekaiser taking the Volibear out of these fights more than anything. Uh, he's just a big disruptor for the side of Hashira, because if he's able to get on top of Syndra or Zaya, there's not a whole lot of peel. I mean, Rakan can he can W once, but once that CC's down, there's only a little bit of CC coming out from Sai and Syndra, and they're playing mostly to try and get catches, not to save themselves.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game three. I think, Small Brain's coming off a really nice decisive game one. Hashira coming off a crazy game two. Like it kind of feels like the momentum is still on Small Brain's side. Like I don't feel like they completely lost it because of that game. But what I will say is that it will feel really bad to lose after starting 1-0. I think that just always sucks. You get that advantage, and if you lose the series, it's like, yeah, what did that advantage mean? Nothing, right? So, for Hashira, what's on the table here is, solidifying themselves. Back-to-back victories over two dominant teams in this league. For many years, a revenge series against Small Brains from last year. I mean that could be massive. Starting out 2-0 in the group, so.
Now, I think it's pretty obvious, but we are going to see a red cane here, most likely, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I think Red Kane's always better in like 90% of games. So I more than likely it will be red, yeah. Blue could have some value if your job is just I want to one-shot Jinx all game. Go for it then.
What I really want to see out of Hashira this game is I think their early game is much better than Small Brains. They have a lot more like surprise options between the Rakan EW combos and the Kane coming out of walls, and Syndra stun setting up fights for these early game. So I really want to see Kane looking to pressure mid lane and roam with the Rakan top lane to see if they can't stop Gragas from getting a little too beefy for Mordekaiser to deal with.
Yeah, and I do expect this to be a phase rush, Gragas too, which will not be easy for Mordekaiser to deal with. I don't think this lane favors the Mord by any means. It's playable, but it's definitely Gragas favored. So
I think the lane can go pretty even at the end of the day, but I think it's favored towards Gragas in terms of Mordekaiser's not going to just be getting to do what he wants in the lane.
Yeah, this Kane pick sucks. I've been sitting on that for a while. I'm not a fan of this Kane pick at all. I
that's
don't.
crazy.
I don't. I'm not a fan. Not an absolute fan. And by the way, I don't know who does um who does a majority of the draft work for Small Brains, but two big thumbs down on the Garen. Absolute insanely thumbs up on this Gragas. I felt like no matter what Hashira picked in the R5, this Gragas is just so useful and just creating chaos in these team fights here.
I think it's a great, I know a lot of people think of Gragas as engage, but I think Gragas is way better as a peel and disrupt in team fights, which is what you really want for Jinx, because Jinx loves a chaotic environment because she's just able to sit there and auto attack while people are figuring out, what's happening in a team fight. So you have Leona and Gragas, like I said, Leona and Gragas peeling for this Jinx, looking for those resets, and you have Aurora and Volibear on the front line, just doing the initial damage for Jinx to clean up. I think there's a solid plan for Small Brains. I'm struggling to see what the Hashira is looking to do other than play that early pick game, get a massive lead, and try and just play the early game through for a win.
Uh, yeah, I'm really concerned about this Rakan because he's not going to be able to build that redemption and more enchantery route. Because no matter who he charms up out of the four, the three frontliners plus Aurora that's in front of this Jinx, he's going to get just blown the hell up in that regard. So I just don't know what opportunities the Hashira is gonna be able to create. I will say that if Small Brains misses their engage, like if they take a shot and miss out on the engage and kite forward, Xayah is very, very useful there. Also, if this Mordekaiser gets ahead, then I think his window to side lane into Aurora, Volibear even, but Leona Jinx, it becomes insanely useful as well. So I don't know how this is going to go. I think the Hashira's draft is very difficult to execute, but they do have some pretty decent like one-shot buttons going on here. But
I mean, I'm just thinking in my head, Rakan's waiting in one of the mid-side bushes, and Syndra catches a QE combo, and you just see Rakan jump in and dance on top of a squishy target like Jinx, and able to one-shot. But I have a feeling Syndra's actually going to go the burn build this game, with that Volibear, Leona, and Gragas being kind of a frontline threat.
I actually feel like she should go like straight pen here and try to spike as early as she can to snowball this game.
You guys in, by the
I
way?
do not disagree. 14, 15, 16, 17.
Cool. I'm gonna send timer with him. Are you in CLT?
Give me a sec. Mine kind of froze up, so I tabbed out. I'm at 29, 30, 31, 32.
Pause for us. It's pause at 40,
Okay, 39, 40. I'm paused.
38, 39, 40.
All right,
Good.
cool. It's like I my whole thing against Kane is like, Kane is designed. He's so like anti-designed. Like he wants a fast-paced game to get form and do something with it early, but he's so bad early that he just wants to sit back and like. It's I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the champion.
Mordekaiser is going to be late on getting to the wave or no?
No,
Okay.
he's got home guards coming.
Honestly, what I would love to see from the Kane here is look for an early invade into their red side and take those birds.
Yeah, but now that we see where he's starting at, they all know he's going to be starting on birds, so it's going to be an even clear top to bot for both sides. Also, if I get this invade wrong as Kane, I'm into a really, really scary freaking bear.
Yeah, it's so hard.
I hate
I
this
don't
game
think the
pick.
5-second rules.
Is the bear looking to contest the red buff here? I don't know if he's going to make it in time, but
Is this the reverse 5-second rule?
I think he's going to he finishes in time. Now the question
Didn't
is,
get seen.
he did not get seen, but Zach is going to get around here. He's got position. Who got it? It looked like it went to one punch there. Yes, it did. So that's actually mass. No, it did not. No, it did not. Wait a second. No, he got the main camp. So, but that doesn't mean he doesn't level up.
Having to recall here. The tempo for the bear is down pretty badly, but interesting play. I don't think it really did anything. I think if anything, it just put Volibear a little behind and gave Kane some free orbs.
Yeah, not a lot, but definitely some free ones. A bit of fighting here.
Looking at the top lane,
It gets chunked pretty low, but I think he'll take that trade. And Zaya sitting on about a quarter HP after that.
Well, Spectator was looking bot side as they traded some health bars.
they were both fighting at the same time.
Yeah.
What happened top side of the map? Sorry.
Top side of the map, we see Gragas got pulled into the turret by the Mordekaiser, took a tower shot, got down to less than 100 HP.
So here's something important that the bush there is warded to try, so Kane won't have easy access. But now the question is, are we gonna fight over the scuttle? And it kind of looks like we're going to. I do think that favors Volley on the initial, so Kaza forced to go away. But Zema burning the flash mid, try to kill this Syndra. So a lot of action on the map early in this game 3.
Gragas is not letting this Mordekaiser go home for free.
Also, phase rush on Syndra is quite interesting. I don't necessarily like it.
You know,
now there's no flash. One Punch is coming for a gank here mid, so he's gonna have to play safe. He does see the volley. Is there going to be a counter? It looks like there's going to be a 2v2 duel possibly. But we see Fid coming over, so it's no longer going to be a 2v2. It is probably going to spot out of Kaza. I know he's not in time, but it does not matter as everybody backs off. Good roam there by Fid. Saved his mid laner any troubles.
yeah, speaking of these runes for Syndra, I think these may be those Rise runes from the last game.
It's a possibility that this was a mistake. It is possible. There's tons of trading going on this top side of the map. Disconnect for one punch. Okay, he's back. I guess there was no pause.
There was
there
a
was.
there was a very
Okay. It was like a brief pause.
yep.
We are going to be delayed due to this pause, guys. Sorry, folks. Gamers don't know how to game. They have bad PCs. No, I'm just kidding. One Punch is on his way top here. This is a level 5 Mordekaiser. But Akaza's also in the area. They have a ward. They should be looking to bait this out. Akaza's going to place it. He's going to get the flash burn. They're going to try to turn here. That means Vic should be able to fall. He does. One Punch forward to the tower. And they're going to give a double kill to this Kane. Say what you want about Kane, but if he gets fed, the game can be a bit scary, boys.
I mean, you did say you didn't want Kane to get those early kills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, the note Kane gets nothing but red orbs from that 2v2 top side as well, so that helps him get a sorry, I'm getting distracted by chat. That helps him get to the transform much quicker.
Yep. So now all of a sudden, game gets a little more interesting. Kane obviously gonna be 2-0, so that helps a lot towards his build here. I'm curious if he's able to get his form soon. Can we actually track that? Can we see that?
I'm trying to see if we can.
Doesn't look like it, but nonetheless, there's a ward here, so there's probably not going to be a play. Oh, Mono! He doesn't succeed in the flash! Unfortunately, it's going to be enough. I don't think so. Barrier's going to come out, but Finn might be in trouble. Finn is going to fall. They're going to claim the feats of warfare. Here comes Zema. Might be
oh, nice stun!
Such the CC! Oh, my! And that's 2 kills.
Oh, my lord. That stun was so beautifully timed.
Alright, so we did talk about how Red Side's early game is going to be a little bit stronger here with the ability to catch out with all their catch-out abilities. And Kane has gotten a lot of red orbs because he was able to even collect more off the Leona there. I think if he's able to keep up this stacking, he's going to be getting red form pretty quickly.
Yeah, Drake is secured. Oh, nice ult there by Vic. Unfortunately, just not under the turret. So just a little trade of damage. But that means Mordecai does have the Realm of Death, and he's gonna have to be very careful. Phase rush or not, I'm pretty sure he can die if he gets too close.
Now, one thing to go ahead and mark is we are seeing Hashira already getting the feat of warfare for the beginning of this game, and they've already got one objective under their belt. Rakan is here to try and secure these grubs as well, but we see the bunny positioning to make sure they don't get them for free. But she's looking pretty outnumbered here until the rest of her team shows up.
Between Two Worlds is still on cooldown for a little bit, so let's see how this is played. Here comes one punch. And it looks like he put him in the death round. No, he actually didn't. It looked like he did initially, but it
He will now. Oh.
Yeah, volley before spell. Beautiful between Two Worlds is going to go down on the multiple members. And it looks like a bit of a mistake here from the Hashira. Just playing that a little off. And now Grub's going to go over to Small Brains.
I was hoping to see the Mordekaiser pull the trigger on somebody there and make this more of a disjointed fight. But never did.
Yeah, I feel like the moment they CC'd up the Volley Bear was a perfect opportunity just to ult the bear, pull him into the realm. He had no flash. Best case scenario, he can ult away, but there was middle of the river. He's not really ulting anywhere, right? But what was the mistake from my point of view? Is just no wards in the banana bush. Zema got to hide there for free. They didn't know I was there.
I strongly agree with that. I think it's kind of hard to pull the trigger there without having more information. I mean, we had everybody move together, but the fight kind of got split.
Oh, flash there from Fid. He is going to travel in there. So now, interestingly enough, the Azir finds himself in a bad spot. Mega Death Rocket does come out, but it's not enough damage to finish the kill.
Kane's pretty close to his transformation. Just pinged it on the chat there.
Alright, I mean, that's pretty big. If he's able to acquire it. Now, of course, the gold has evened up. It's actually about a 300 gold lead for the side of Small Brains, but...
I mean, if he's able to get Red Cane by 11 minutes, that's kind of insane, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick.
I mean, isn't the average transform time around like 15? I'm not a Cane player. I don't really know.
For solo queue, I'm sure the number is actually pretty high, but yeah, for competitive, it's probably When I say high, I mean it's low. But yeah, no, for competitive, it is probably higher on average. I can't imagine you're getting it that quick. But we don't see it really in the jungle. We see it top lane, even when it's played competitively. So probably still get his form pretty quick.
Man, Vic just punishing the Mordekaiser with the QE auto boom walk away.
Yeah, I mean, this is the part where we kind of talked about where Mordekaiser, he really just doesn't get to play the game. But here's something important. Akaza's found his way into the bot side here. So if they try to look for a play, you see Rakan kind of trying to bait. They're finally going to spot him here. They're going to turn right onto the Leona, but they're going to one-shot the Rakan. And now they're turning right there onto Akaza, but luckily he does go into the all four. Mono's going to flash in. Burns the flash himself, but does find him in a
Oh,
bad
nice
spot.
flash.
Stark should be able to pick up this kill. Eventually, I think it was very close, though. And a 2v3 going to take that. Really nice E there. Zema flashing in. Zema getting kill. Night-night Tsukuyomi.
What a, I don't even know how the bear managed to mind game the Syndra into the crackling storm there.
We do have.
This game is hanging on a knife's edge. It feels like for side of Hashira.
Do have Red Cane is on the map.
Doing a lot of damage to Fid. This might be a bit of an overstep. I think they're going to catch out this Leona. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a kill right before the Drake, so Drake should go over now. Vic doesn't have his TP either, so he cannot be there.
Between Two Worlds also not available.
Yeah, I mean, unless One Punch wants to go for a steal using this Stormbringer, which doesn't appear like he wants to. That is Cloud Drake, and let the Drake stacking commence.
Now, I'm gonna say we aren't too surprised by seeing this early game go to the side of the Hashira, but I kind of expect as the game goes on, we're gonna see a little bit more blue and blue favored fights once they get a little bit more organized instead of this disorganized chaos that's going on. I think Hashira is kind of just surviving off of how chaotic everything is going so far.
Well, nice poke there onto Zema. That is unleashed power though, so going to be down, but it does leave Zema in a bad spot where he probably has to reset. Means they can move into the blue side here, and One Punch is doing the blue buff. Let's see if they figure this out. Well, they do spot him there at the end. Stark's gonna have to be careful. He does not have his flash. He might have the Feather Storm, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Does use that to dodge the Solar Flare. Ooh.
I think Fit is happy that didn't land.
Yeah, that didn't land. I'm pretty sure that's
thing.
a deadly Oda. But look at Zema walking down here. They get spotted on the control word, so that means Stark's gonna have to back up pretty far. Zui is on the way, so I think should be alright.
It looks like Leona's heading up to work on this Herald next.
Had a lot of success spotting out the Leona. It looks like Finn is going to get caught up a little bit here again. Burns the flash. Alright. So no Solar Flare, no flash. I kind of feel like the Herald's going to be pretty hard to fight.
Tegan going the redemption route, as I was afraid of.
Yeah, now do understand Mordekaiser is walking towards the bot side. He does have his TP. They do spot out Vic.
He's got Rylai's too, and Mono's not on one item, so Mono has to drop this wave.
Yeah, the real question is do we TP in right away? I feel like they need to slow play this if they're the side of Hashira. You do not want to the full-on play. Decent. Oh, Stark's going to get caught out. Say goodnight. Solar Flare came back up. And that's good enough for the kill. But here comes Gyu. Nice, easy to land multiple members. Are they going to try to fight when we drop the ulti here? Unfortunately, no one has died just quite yet. Mono, though, is found himself on the wrong side of a Mordekaiser. Getting hacked down. He does not have flash.
Oh, nice E.
He does pop the barrier, though. He gets 3 at a time dying, but it's not enough. And that is a double kill for the Syndra.
That's the last person you want the double kill to go on.
Hey, I thought Mono had an opportunity to kind of go off there, but it just wasn't enough.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This Kane is putting in some work in these fights when he's able to. He loves these extended fights. Like, that's his playground. And so far he's been able to get that. They managed to blow everything on Arya there at the beginning. Unfortunately, not having the Featherstorm to survive. But Kane's just there to hover in walls, queue in and out of fights, and get some knockups. Kane's not doing too bad for what we thought was going to happen so far this game.
No, he's doing pretty well. Who actually got the shutdown on Arya Stark there?
I don't
I
think.
believe it was the Aurora.
Now, that could be pretty big if it was the Aurora. Because Zemo with gold on this jab is pretty terrifying.
I don't think Arya had a shutdown.
Did he not? I thought he had one.
No.
Okay, then disregard.
I could be wrong. You'd have to go back and look at it, but I don't see it in the chat. And shutdowns are normally posted in the chat bar.
Yeah, I mean, I see he was 4-0 before that. I mean, he has an item and a half right now, which is a bit more than this Jinx, so.
I will say, looking at the gold bars, Aurora is sitting pretty strong with a 1k lead on the Syndra. Zaya's still setting about 2k over the Jinx. Overall, a lot of money in the pockets of the carries right now on both sides.
Yeah.
Aside from Jinx.
Nice attempt to try to steal, but he's not able to be able to pick that up. And now they are on soul point, so the Chemtech, even though it's not that deadly, it's still pretty strong.
And that was Feats going over to the red side with that dragon pickup as well. Oh, they got it off the Herald, I lied. Still. Mission.
Beautifully CC down. He is going to be able to just disappear. Here's the TP. You see the Zaya trying to escape. Oh! No! It's not enough.
If he doesn't run into the wall, he's okay. But because he runs into the wall, it ejects him out the backside.
I think he just doesn't take the Herald in the first place.
Well, I agree with that. But I think this game's going to come down to Otacon here. I don't think either team can take an extended, like, Otacon 50-50. Because neither one of them are building the tank stats to really deal with the MR and armor shred that's going to come out of it. Guillaume.
Beautiful Solar Flare on the Fidsick, but Leona did not have. I'm sorry, Zenith Flare, I should say. Yeah, Leona did not have the Solar Flare. Here comes the Rakan ult. Is going to burn the flashes off both bot laners. Mega Death Record does come out to do a decent amount of damage here before Otacon, so let's see if that gives them any setup.
Fid
But
played
I
that.
think both teams want to reset off that.
2 flashes is huge.
Yeah, Fidsticks played that peel so beautifully there.
100%. Nice little amount of stun onto Zema, but they are able to get the turret. Zema forced a flash. He does not have. He does have between 2.
Oh my lord!
So much damage. I worry for Akaza, but it looks like he's gonna get the help. Oh my goodness, not enough damage though. A little bit of healing coming off the ulti keeps him alive, but Mono finds himself in a bad spot as EU TP'd in. And that might mean Otacon. Let's see what they decide to do. Vic is walking up over here. They're going to be able to cancel him out initially. He does flash over the wall. Akaza fails the Q, which is kind of big. Nice dodge there. Oh, they are going to be able to get the knock up and beautifully CC'd. Gragas is now off the map, and they're just going to turn into this Otacon. 5 seconds on the spawn of Aurora, but yeah, just looking like they're going to try to position for this at all.
I think one thing to mention here for the side of or the Hashira is most of their CC is not affected by any sort of tenacity because it's all knockups and micro stuns.
Yeah, that seems to be how the Hashira have been grinding out, specifically game 2, and now keeping us up in game 3 is just finding these little picks off skirmishes. And,
yeah, a lot of punishing too. I mean, you can't miss position against the good teams, right? You can't find yourself caught out in side lanes, and both these teams are very good. So both of them have been doing that throughout the series. But Hashira, at least for the last 2 games, have so far got the better of those trades.
If I'm the side of Small Brains, I'm wanting to find some way to get this Jinx back in the game, because I think she's looking pretty sad now. Although Aurora is looking pretty terrifying with 2.5 items completed at this point, and whatever the next objective is, she will have.
You. Sulfur doesn't land, but I don't think it matters. He's not long for this world. He is going to drop the Death Realm. He pulls in Leona, but I don't think he has the damage. I think he just needs to try to run. There is a flash. He tries to flash over the wall, but I do think that's a bit of a mistake, not accepting his own death. And there you go. Give the kill to this AD carry. Well done. They're going to do some damage onto this mid turret, but not able to pick it up. Oh, wait. A TP in from Vic. He's behind them. Yomi is going to spot them out. He does have the cast. They're able to get the damage, but he does end up falling. Volibear does end up picking up the kill, but our Stark is trying to run away. One punch seems to be in a pretty good spot, though. A lot of healing coming out of this Volibear, though. Do they have the damage? Shield is going to fall off. Yes, they do. Now, let's see what Akaza does. There's a nice slow and a good zap. He does have his E, though, so he's going to be able to get over the wall.
Oh, here's the count.
Quickness. Only finds onto one person, unfortunately. He's like, yo, give me an E over the wall, please.
I think that's one thing to mention with the comp from Hashira, too. The amount of escapes that both the jungler and the support have here are kind of insane to play in and out of these team fights. Exactly what they want.
Yeah, and you got to think that maybe the usage of the quickness there was a bit of a mistake. Now with everyone spawning, they could have had this ability up for this soul. But let's see if they're able to acquire it. Small Brains was in the same position last game. Like, I recall this exact situation for them, and they were not able to get it. But they're going to try to turn onto this Chemtech right away, try to burst it out. Volibear's a bit of a ways away. There are some blast cones. They should be able to stall. Nice damage there on Fid. Nice solar flare. Actually doesn't end up laying. Now Fid's forced to flash away. Beautiful cast, and one punch is forced to kind of just try to dive
No
in.
Mordekaiser ult. This is going to be a 50-50.
Yeah, but look, Stark is getting very, very low.
Oh.
Nick was making some pretty, pretty good space. Nice between 2 worlds, but Stark is surviving for now. Demon's running within the back line, but doesn't have enough damage. And here we go. Blue team is falling all around. Nobody ends up falling except for the Mordekaiser on the side of Hashira, and make that a triple kill for Akaza and the Soul.
Damn. What a grindy out fight. We've seen Zenma try to between 2 worlds into the back line, but the ult from Guillaume followed him and ended up taking him out there. And there's just no anti-healing as well on the side of Small Brains here.
Yeah, and now the Kane is 9-1-9. Has their Spirit Visage. It's going to be really hard to shut him down at this point without just locking him down and keeping him locked down enough for Jinx to do the damage necessary to kill him.
Yeah, and Zemba forced to flash away. That's pretty unfortunate, and that's a big sum down for this Baron. Oh no, Vic, he's walking into the team. Does drop a decent cast, but isn't enough to live. Flash in there is actually going to find two.
Oh, well played.
Mono now finds himself in a horrible spot trying to help his top laner. His top laner might have just got him killed. Now with Baron on the table, question is, are they going to look towards it? Oh, nice W. This red can is starting to pay dividends. Here we go, another fight. Stark is not here. Initially, the con is going to fall, but once everybody shows up, blue team just doesn't have enough left in the tank. Zema, all he can do is watch. His team is just dying all around him. And here goes the Baron here at 26 minutes.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's looking pretty dire here for the side of small brains.
Yeah. And I'm eating my words on how much I didn't like this game pick.
You know, I think you were right if the Kane did not get that early gank top where he just got what felt like unlimited orbs off of fighting both the top laner and the jungler.
Well, I appreciate the defense.
That was the caveat.
Back-to-back games. You know, you hated on the Kane, I hated on their comp last game. I mean, sometimes we are not always right, and that's okay.
Oh.
That's what makes this fun.
Now, there is still a world where Small Brains is able to get back in this game, but Jinx needs money. She is poor. She is living in Zaun exactly how Zaunites are.
I think the thing for me is looking at where the damage is coming out of. Some of the brush cheese that they pulled off successfully is still in play here. Aurora can one-shot anybody that's not Kayn or Mordekaiser. So if you can just set up a pick and just all-in somebody, get the Jinx passive rolling, there is a world.
It's really hard, I think, for this Aurora, though, to get the flank angles that she wants, because there is a Rakan and a Kayn roaming weird angles permanently. Like, they're able to just navigate this jungle landscape as much as they want.
Well, this might be the play. They're going to turn here onto their Rakan. They should have the one-shot, and they do. Beautiful cast to make sure that he just dies. Now, of course, nothing is up, and unfortunately,
Vic?
I kind of wish the Elder was. Vic might be able to find his way out of here. He does. But Stark's trying to look for a fight. Nice feather call. Said,
Ooh!
Molly? That crit was insane.
Yeah, I gotta ping the Feather Storm now that it's down.
Yeah, but look at what's going on here. Mono is pushing the mid lane, so he's going to be able to acquire the mid turret, and there's no Feather Storm for the Xayah, so she really can't step up to defend it, even though she is super strong. There's a lot of range. And Jinx will be able to get out of here. So
Secret Agent Mono here.
yeah, he does this very well, right?
Yes.
So he gets himself back into the game, and now he has his Runons, so 3 items here right before the objective. They're going to turn here onto EU. Don't know if they have the damage. Leona might just end up dying, and she does. Does get the Solar Flare off in time, but it's just not enough. Mono shows up, and Hugh's going to actually ult the AD carry, but almost gets started. Oh my god, that Q!
Okay. That was a lot. Yeah. Mono just ate the mace. There.
Yeah, just
Mono
when I thought it was
ate the
fightable.
claw.
Mordekaiser
Well,
was like 100 HP!
Yeah, walked into the Mordekaiser Claw and just got pulled into melee range. Not what you want from your Jinx AD carry.
Maybe he thought he was playing something else. I don't know, Samira or something? I'm not really sure, but it is pretty unfortunate. I'm really surprised they don't turn and fight there. I actually think they could have pretty much blown up whoever they wanted, but they're just going to play it smart. Stark takes a lot of damage, and Fitzik caught out once again. Nice cast. You know, mind you, the Rakan does not matter here as much, but he will be able to get his quickness off onto Zema as he's just going to try to kite it out. Mono has come. Makata has to get his ulti off, but he's not going to be able to do so. This Jinx can carry this fight. Down goes the Xayah, and wait a second, this fight is going haywire. Elder is up on the map, mind you. They do pick off this Syndra, though, is staying alive, and Zemma just could not die.
Oh.
I mean, Zemma could die, I should say, and this fight is just gone completely haywire after what looked so good for them. Another triple kill for Akaza, and guys, this game might be over.
Okay.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, the Jinx looks like she's coming back in, though. Like, the damage was coming out of her, she just wasn't able to finish the job.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna go on a limb. Say if they had anti-healing that fight, I think they win it. Because they just got executioners, they just got bramble vests. Like this Kane is unstoppable right now, and that was as good a fight as you were gonna get.
Yeah, Vic's just trying to play distraction. You gotta makes you wonder if this is the wrong play. So far, it's working. He's pulling them around in circles, and Akaza actually fails to get over the wall, but he has found himself on the wrong side of the map. I think eventually he will die, but the question is at what cost?
He's giving his team time to respawn for this Elder Drake.
Yep, but he does end up dying, and now they're going to have to reset, so will that matter? There are some TPs up. I think Stark has to play very passive. In fact, both Uzui and Stark at this moment, they have to wait on team to get back on the map.
Mono
also resetting.
showing top.
Yeah, this might be Elder. They might just be looking to flip this and trade the objective and hopes that maybe Volibear can steal. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think Jinx is just actively looking to press R.
Well, there's the ult. It's actually going to end up missing. Someone's going to try to get in there, but he's going to die. Elder will be secured. And Zemma is not long for this world, regardless if he is between two of them.
You know, maybe Jinx should have been bought there, but I think another world where they should have just traded the Baron for the Elder at this point.
Yeah, it was a little off-timer a bit, but yeah, I mean, it was spawning. They may have had time to hit. Would have been one of those kind of like T1 Barons, but they don't do that. And now they're going to be down Baron and Elder. They have an exposed inhibitor as well. Good night, Mono.
No R used.
It's just a straight one-shot.
That's what happens when you have Elder and 3 items.
Yeah, mind you, this Jinx does have some healing cut now, so you know when she responds, maybe they can play the game.
I do also want to point out, if you look at the level differences here,
I think they're just going to kind of send it. The Syndra does end up falling. Zemma's in there, but he is going to just die. It kind of feels bad. I mean, I think that felt like the best way they can make at this point. But this game is looking pretty much over. It's just a poor bear and a lonely woman to defend the sun. And I just don't think that's enough. Oh, well, here comes the Jinx. They're going to turn...
Oh, my lord!
I think in the last 5 minutes, Mono has seen more gray screens in his entire life.
Oh, my!
Oh, my goodness. How to play the game. Okay, Volibear died. He's like living and then dying. Alright, well, GG. Hashira are going to once again lose game 1 and get the reverse sweep.
Well, the first 2 games were very close, and I think that the Hashira just committed chaos game 3 to the point small brains could not regroup their thoughts into how to basically make a coherent fight there.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, it was a close series overall. Even that game 3, it kind of felt a little bit out of reach at times for small brains, but they fought back, violently so. But at least on this day, they didn't have enough to tank. But Two great teams went at it today, and it was fun to watch.
Yeah, no, these were some great games to watch. I think we saw a lot of strengths out of both sides, especially in games 1 and 2. I think we saw some interesting compositions and kind of how they want to be played on both sides as well. I'm kind of excited to see what both teams kind of take from the series and bring forward for the rest of the split.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting, and it's going to shape up this group very interestingly so as well. So we'll see how it all pans out. But for now, Hashira starting off 2-0. I mean, they might be the team to beat in this.
Definitely got off to a really, really good start. Both games or both series were 3-game series.
Yeah, 100%. So, well, I want to say thank you for letting me come cast with you guys. I was not feeling the best. Medicine helps a little bit. Still kind of dying though. So I'm gonna go chill, relax my voice, and I will talk to you guys soon and let you guys interview this man. So, congratulations, by the way, my friend, on the win.
Nope.
Well, I guess.
Wait, what the?
Wait,
Misclicked. I misclicked. My bad.
oh, it's all good, brother. But yeah, congratulations again to you and your team. I'm sure I'll catch up with you guys sometimes, but I'm gonna go rest for now. So, the rest
See
of you
ya,
have a wonderful
man.
night.
Thanks for casting.
Yo, how you doing, bro?
Doing good, man.
Man,
Out
what?
there with another dub.
2 back-to-back 3-game series, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, take me through that. What was your thoughts going into that series, and did uh did it end up being what you thought it was?
Well, game one, we kind of wanted to do like the Pantheon, Lissandra combo, the one that you guys ran against us.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, we were just like miscommunicating in draft and got lost, and then we didn't get the silver, and they took it away from us, and we kind of like lost our heads after that. And I don't know, we just lose like every game one. We lose every game one in scrims on stage, and then yeah, we just start playing better, I guess. Once the, once everything is on the line.
What Oh, hold on. Let me pull up the game 2 draft. Was this the?
That was the Huey draft.
Yeah, yeah. Are you? I mean, what what was your thoughts on the game 2, like just draft in general, especially what they threw at you? Because I thought there was some interesting things that they built in their draft. A lot of synergy with auto attacks, mainly with Braum and Sejuani there.
Yeah,
But yet again, we do see the Hui bot.
yeah, yeah. So over here, we were trying to flex the way. Um, we were also thinking about Corki, like taking the Hui mid and Corki bot. But then we realized like, okay, they kind of drafted like a heavy melee comp. Assuming like the top laner is gonna be melee as well. So we thought Rise would be good because Rise, Gnar, and Hui want you to run into them and just like destroy you like that. Hui is also really good at that. So that's the kind of angle we went with. And in the fights, I don't know if you guys saw, but like their melee characters, by the time they even get on top of us, they're like 20% HP, so they can't even play the game. I know we were like my jungler and top were kind of like malding about the Silas pick because they thought it's gonna be super OP into Alistair, Gnar, and Xin but felt like he couldn't really play into the comp overall, if that makes sense. I don't know about the Garen pick. I don't know what that does for them, you know.
Yeah, in my opinion, I was kind of looking at Small Brain's comp, and they really wanted you guys to force to play into them, but they were never really able to get the setup needed to make y'all go into them.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
I agree with that.
Game 3, Mr. CLT had some opinions regarding your Kane pick here. What were your thoughts with the Kane pick? And what was your overall plan with the comp you drafted? Do you execute exactly how you wanted?
Yeah, yeah. So we went in knowing that their jungler. So we're banning the Zac and Ivern, right? And then the Panth was taken out, the Xin was taken out. So his pool was pretty much left with Volley. And every time they were on red side, they were banning Volley against us. But this time they didn't ban Volley because I'm assuming they wanted to first pick it because my jungler also plays it a lot. And we were trying to think about like, okay, what would be a good pick into Volley, and I was like, I remember a Kane in my solo queue game, like my Volley was 5-0 or something, but their Kane like literally made the game unplayable, and it kind of feels like an insane win con if Kane gets ahead. So we just drafted like Zaya Rakan, because we have really good success with that. My bot lane pretty much always stomps on that pick, so we just went for comfort this game, plus the Kane. The Kane was just like the wild card to counter Bully and other like bruisery champs.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Kane get a ton of orbs in a top lane 2v2 skirmish, and that kind
Yeah,
of set the tone. Like, I
yeah, I
don't
felt like
think
the game was over after that.
I mean, we even said, we maybe CLT didn't like the pick, but if Kane was able to get a lead, it was going to be disgusting. And well, his maybe not dream, but it came true.
Yeah, yeah. And then they also had like this bot play. They kind of overcommitted and got 3 for 0'd, wasted a TP. I think like by that time, as long as we played consistent and stable without getting caught, the game was just over. But we got picked a few times, and that kind of made the game seem closer than it should have been. But I feel like we were always in control with the Kane Mordekaiser picks. And then I was gonna build like tank shred on Syndra mid with like the Lion Trees and Blackfire Torch, but then my team made a good call. Like we just needed to one shot the Jinx and Syndra, and the other people can take care of the tank. So I just went with the full burst build.
Yeah, I think that was the correct decision here because if you look at their threats, uh, they have 3 peelers and then a Jinx and an Aurora. Either one of those being dead is detrimental to Small Brains' plans there, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I've got to
I agree.
say, like, we were kind of like questioning the overall team synergy that y'all had, but in practice, we saw, you know, you were just able to consistently get picks and get out of fights, especially the Kane and the Rakan, kind of weaving in and out of those team fights, with Mordekaiser just
Yeah,
peeling whichever carry he thought was the scariest at the time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're still working on the synergy. A lot of us are like playing off role. My top is an ADC main. I'm a top main. My support is a top main. So like we're just trying to like learn everything, you know.
Well, going forwards, what is your plans for the rest of the season? How are y'all feeling? Do you think you're gonna be number one? I mean, you've got 2 wins so far. Are there any teams you're worried about in your upcoming series?
Um, Not really. The teams we're worried about are like in Group B, but obviously everyone is a tough opponent in this tournament, and we're just trying to be respectful to everyone we play against.
I think this. I'm sorry. I think this bye week comes at a really good time for you guys. And
Oh, I didn't
considering,
even know we had a bye week.
yeah, you have a bye week on week 3, so
That's sweet.
so yeah, it gives you a lot of time to go and review all those specifically game ones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have to review the game ones, and I don't know if you noticed, but all of those game ones were against a Sivir. Maybe we just don't know how to play against that champ, even in scrims too.
Well, by the time you come back for your week 4 matchup, she might be nerfed.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
So, but yeah, yeah, really, really exciting stuff. To keep us on our heels.
Yeah, man, I'm glad we could provide like a three game banger for you guys.
Hmm. Well, I am going to let you go, if Zelda, if you're good.
I'm good over here.
All right. Well, we'll let you go
Appreciate it,
here.
guys.
Yeah,
Thanks for
appreciate
the
the.
cast.
Oh, thanks for the banger series yet again.
See you guys.
Deuces. All right. Well, that was I believe that was Guillaume, mid laner for the Hashiras. They took a 2-1 series over Small Bring No Mechanics going into their week 3 bye week. So that'll be a nice little relief there for them. Um, I think I'm pretty much good with what we got here, Mr. Zelda. If you got any last words.
Uh, Nothing other than I think we are seeing how strong these teams are shaping up to be. Game 3 I think was a snowball situations, but game 1 and 2 were very, very close, and even game 3, I think there was, that 5-10% chance that the Jinx could have come back. Like I think we're gonna see some really close games throughout the rest of the split, and I think this is gonna be a very heated season.
Agreed, 100% there. I don't. I think any team can take games off of any team right now in either group. So this is going to be a very enjoyable split. So
All right, Mr. CLT, that's all I have for this series.
well, it was much enjoyed, greatly appreciated you hopping on here. Hopefully, hopefully you enjoyed yourself. And when do you guys play?
We are Saturday. We have default time.
Ah, rip.
And I think we are down a player as well, so.
Oh, wait. I think I'm. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm subbing for you guys actually.
Oh, are you?
I
Well,
actually,
there you
it
go.
just dawned on me. I'm like, wait, Saturday at 8. Oh shit, that's right. Boy, I dumbed that one up, didn't I? Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if Al had talked to you or not yet.
Yeah.
But, oh no,
Well,
we're spoiling it.
yeah, you'll see me stink it up on the rift. So, but we're gonna end it here then.